after he lost it, the teacher went up and punched the student. A student got in between them. They broke it up. The student went to the hospital. He has minor injuries. But we want to know, the other teachers have raised $90,000. $90,000 because they feel, yes, it might be bigger than that. That's right. Because they feel he was provoked purposely, that it was a setup, and that he was standing up for himself. So it all happened at Maywood Academy High School in the LA School District. We want you to take, we're going to just talk through the video so you guys can see it. But it's a 64-year-old Marston Riley. He took the comments calmly. He absorbed it for over at least 3 minutes. And he just berated him. He calls him the N-word. He throws a basketball. He then punches the student. They are defending the teacher, a lot of the students.
It looked to me the student kind of threw the punch first.
It didn't. That's the thing. He threw a basketball at him, and then he called him the N-word, and he didn't reach back. That's when, after the N-word happened, the teacher did. So I was looking carefully to see did he reach back for something, because in some self-defense, maybe he thought he was going to be in trouble.
I'm still going to go with the self-defense a little bit.
Thank you.
That's why
Jason.
I'm kind of with Brandon. We had this discussion earlier today, and Sam had mentioned the mom and her, she just doesn't want, he's the adult. The adult, under any circumstance, should not resort to violence. And I understand that, but when you've got an aggressive person in your face throwing basketballs at you, I mean, high school kids could be, I mean, this guy's in his mid-60s, I believe.
64, that's right.
64 to a 14-year-old.
To a 14-year-old who, listen, all I'm saying is, at a certain point, I don't condone violence in any situation, but at a certain point, I don't know.
Well, Rosemary agrees with you.
Even as I say it,
I know, but it's hard to say it, but Rosemary Castillo Lombardo, thanks for writing on Facebook. And if you are watching, keep writing us back. After watching the entire video, yes, it was justified. Kids nowadays have absolutely no respect these days for administrators. If he were my son, I'd be extremely embarrassed. They also say, guys, students say, this isn't the first time people have attacked this teacher. And at some point, with violence in schools and school shootings, a basketball is an assault in some respects if you're throwing. You don't know what else he's throwing. I can understand calling it self-defense in some respects. I can, but I can also say a grown-up should never punch a student.
I don't see it that way at all. I think there's no circumstance unless someone is shooting you.
You're reaching for a gun or something.
Yeah, I just don't see that. And I want to know why. My mom's a school teacher. Why you don't take that kid immediately when the provocation is happening. Take that kid by the arm and drag him into the principal's office.
But that's still assault.
It's not assault to do that, to bring him in there. No, it's not.
That is still assault.
My point of it is what was the protocol and why did the teacher not follow that particular protocol?
And I think that's a really important thing to know. He was trying to de-escalate by calmly absorbing it. Just so you know, a lot of the kids had their phones out. Some had even a video camera, and it looked very set up. Yeah. Kids don't often have a video recorder in their classroom. So even if it was a setup, Bo's right. You can't resort. But everyone here can at least empathize.
That's not fair. That's not fair that we can sit here around the break room table and say, oh, if it was me, or, the teacher shouldn't have done anything. We're looking at, we look at school shootings almost every day now. Who knows what that kid had in the backpack? Who knows what type of history of aggression this kid has had? That guy stood there and he was calm for the longest time. So you're saying if he would have tried to grab the kid's arm to try and take him out of the room, then what would have happened?
I'm going to refer back to a story we had. It might have been about a month ago. You probably remember when we were talking about the Georgia police, Roswell police, pinning the kid down to the ground. And everyone at that point was pointing fingers at the policeman saying, why did he pin him on the ground? And there were multiple attempts by the kid to get to his dad, who wanted to get to his dad. You have 15 adults standing around doing absolutely nothing, and all of a sudden the officer's the one to blame for trying to de-escalate the situation. Yeah. At some point, yes, the authority figure has to do something. The question is, do you rear back and do you punch that kid in the face?
Right.
Were there not other measures he could have taken?
Well, that's what people are saying. And then, Bo, a lot of people are saying that what kind of precedent does that set for other teachers? Someone's saying Ken Iglesia Tucky says the boy deserved it. And then some people are saying the teacher should have pressed charges. That's another thing. Yeah. If you had video evidence of him throwing a basketball in your face, you could have taken that video footage and pressed charges on the kid. A lot of people are saying, though, don't go down to a 14-year-old's level. The kid you stoop to a 14-year-old boy's level, and you're going to get in trouble.
Teachers are instructed how to deal with situations like this, minus taking a gun out and shooting you, because we've had to deal with that, sadly, too much lately. But there's ways that you can not just de-escalate escalate, but I think there's ways you can deal with this in terms of taking them to the principal, or maybe the teacher leaves the classroom and brings in whatever security they have. Because when it gets to that point, I know you have to make a split-second decision. When I saw that teacher rear back and hit him multiple times, I thought, I don't know if this is self-defense anymore.
I don't know how anyone enters the profession of teaching.
Yeah,
it's very difficult.
I know. You're not getting paid. You're getting beat up.
Why
and you're having to deal.
And that is the saddest statement I've made.
With students who have lack of discipline from parents.
Absolutely.
And on the flip side of this, kids may know, especially at that age, that they can get up in your face and that teacher can't do anything. It's debilitating in a lot of ways too.
I'm looking into YouTube. People are saying we were down. I'm just checking.
They are down.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. Yes. I do want to say here, where are the defense for the teachers, Robin Johnson Jr.? Do we need to have better setups for teachers in schools because of what Jason just said? Should there be a button or do that? I mean, at some point there is sort of a lack of defense for these teachers.
Well, usually there is a security guard or even an active duty police officer, security resource, or even a police officer in most of these schools. But when you're sitting there and the kid's already thrown the basketball at you, you're playing the calm route for that long. At that point, if the kid hasn't kind of calmed himself down, in this day and age, you don't know what's going to happen.
And also, if it was strategic and it was a plan of the class and a setup, then at that point, the teacher's just, I mean, if nobody in the room is going to stop it, and it's only, it was strategically done at a point when there wasn't a security guard around her, basically that teacher he's screwed. He's in trouble.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's a lose-lose.
We've got cameras on us right now. If I try to get up in Tori's face enough to where I want her to punch me and then she does it, she's now to blame for what she just did.
Right.
I don't care what's around you. Set up terrible, obviously. Calling him N-word, unacceptable. Period. There is no acceptance for that. But if you do that to provoke, knowing the teacher can't do anything, and then he strikes you, now you've got assault. So you see what I'm saying? So it's a very slippery slope to go down. And I do think teachers need better methods. I think was saying some have panic buttons in their rooms too.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I think teachers need to be equipped with those.
Al was saying that
this
he
is
had a
what we
panic
come
button.
to. This is what,
or don't be a teacher.
It goes to show how other teachers feel if they've raised over $90K for this person.
Here's my question.
It's now over $100,000.
You said he was a beloved teacher. Why would a student do this?
Because I think that he had been bullied before. He had been, students have said here that he has been attacked several times. This is not verbally or physically. So he's a victim. He is constantly being bullied, and he lost it. And at some point, we can all understand it, but was it the right thing?
But again, what's the principal, the administration doing to these kids that have no apparent consequence
I would
for
like to know that
berating
answer
the teacher?
too. I would like to know that answer too.
Yeah.
No teachers are taught how to handle this. In New York City, when the children fight, they are directed to get security, not break up the fight on their own, but there's no protocol for students when they attack staff. So we don't know that directly for this Maywood Academy. So I just want to make sure we all know that.
We want to hear from teachers out there. We want to hear especially from you guys and get your take on this.
And Franklin just asked, do y'all believe we should have surveillance in all classrooms?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's just a straight up yes.
And that just helps.
Just a straight up yes.
And
it's like body cams on cops.
It was the crazy part about it, why I like the ideal of surveillance in classrooms, because me and Bo did a police simulator where we had to run into a school shooting. It was an act on a simulator. That only helps the police officers as well if they have some sort of surveillance and they know where they're going into. They can see where the kids are.
It's no longer he said, they said, or whatever.
Yeah.
She really can see. And I think that actually could be helpful potentially in some of these sexual harassment things we're seeing in the classroom.
Oh, yeah. And also, you don't have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the classroom, so there's no reason you couldn't have a camera. So at any point, I completely believe
there aren't cameras.
I'm sure there are in several,
Well, a lot of budgets.
So
I think my mom, actually, now that I think about it, used to have a fake camera up in her classroom.
It's a deterrent.
Just to show, now when I leave the room, if you're going to cheat, just so you know.
In my Hebrew school, they'd say, don't steal, don't cheat, God's watching. And I was like, dang it. Tomorrow on Breakroom, we have a huge news drum roll.
We have a special guest.
Special guest, the lead singer of The Fray will be here. And he will teach us how to save a life.
And we'll
The
make sure
lead singer
Tori
of The Fray is coming in the
serenades
break
him.
room?
Yes, so we're going to catch up with him, Isaac.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you guys can talk music and all that
neat?
jazz. And
What brought this on? This is great.
Jason knows people.
I just know people.
Just happens.
So Isaac Slade from The Fray, the big band, had a couple huge hits in the
Huge
2000s.
Huge.
And he's in Denver supporting a new cause, and we're going to talk to him all about it. So,
Love it.
Get into The Fray, everyone.
Love it.
And don't forget, we are also doing 4K Fridays are coming up, and we're still giving away, every Friday we give away a massive 4K television. Kimberly won from Minnesota, and she got her 4K TV. And all you have to do is send us a picture of you watching us, click, and send it to Facebook.
And hundreds of you guys just this week have already entered for this week's opportunity, but those are still really good odds.
Yeah.
So,
it's better than the Powerball.
better than the Powerball. So keep them coming in. We just want to see pictures of your mug, watching us, watching their mugs, and then you could win a 4K TV. It's that easy.
The mugs.
That's what November in Daily Blast Live is all about. Giving away really cool stuff.
Giving it away. Giving it away.
I'm sorry. I'm just looking at some of these comments about the teacher, and we're disrespecting our teachers. I'm sorry. We're putting them in really terrible situations. All of California schools, teachers are not allowed to touch the students even when they fight. They are promoted to call the resource officer on the campus monitor. Teachers are probably the most disrespected people, but that's kind of part of the job description now.
That is not kind of part of the job description.
But no, that's how teachers feel, though. They feel that they're underpaid.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's a very thankless, I don't.
It takes a real service to want to be. My mom was a teacher until she got ill. Bo's mom,
I would
a lot
say
of educators on
at this
the panel.
point, like to put your life in danger. I don't know. This just seems a little crazy to me.
I'm sorry to go back to
But again, and I think we said this in the 10:30 hour, I think the consequences have to fit the crime. You know, this kid was allowed to do this because for whatever reason, he thought the consequences wouldn't be that great.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I think that if you don't establish that precedent, then you're going to see more of this happening. It has that domino effect where kids say, well, if he did it to Mr. Jones, I can do it too. You know? And I don't like that.
My dad went to East Side High, and
We're
Joe Clark came
New
in.
Jersey.
Hey guys,
Patterson, New Jersey,
we're gonna check out our heart threads now. It's that magical time of the day.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the positive here, and let's check out one of our inspiring heart threads.
You don't really think, oh, like, well, tomorrow I could just never be dancing again. Yeah, I just have so much more appreciation. I'm so thankful and grateful for everything, every day. So I was born with an omphalocele, so I was born with all of my organs like outside of my stomach. So 2 hours after I was born, I was in emergency surgery. Since then, I had been totally fine. The only thing they told me was that all of my organs were the opposite way of what they should be, but everything should work.
Gianna's omphalocele at birth never hindered her. Gianna showed her stomach for show and tell.
I'd never had a belly button. My parents helped me with that. Like, they told me to wear bikinis. They said, be proud of it. So I never grew up being afraid of like showing off my body.
She was always moving and dancing. It just sort of seemed to be in her blood since she was born.
I did ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop. When I was about 11, I realized my love for ballet, and I just really wanted to focus on that. I'm in the professional training program, so it's the highest level of the school at the Washington Ballet.
And to see someone that has that passion, how do you not support them? And it's never wavered. You know, it doesn't have highs and lows with Gianna. It's who she is, it's what she does.
At some points, like, ballet dancers can just become obsessive, and like I was just overworking my body. I had torn my labrum in my hip, and so I had to have surgery for that, which it was just arthroscopic. I started getting a little nauseous on the way home, but we just figured a side effect, but I was continually getting sicker.
She was in there for longer than we anticipated. We were waiting. We didn't really get any reports until the surgeon came out. He came out and his first words to us was, "This is complicated." And to hear those words was just mind-blowing.
They described it as the perfect storm.
As bad as she was going into the ICU after surgery, the next day became worse because of the sepsis. And the doctor came in and he said to me, "She's really got to turn this corner. We're worried." And I said, "Don't tell me. You need to tell her what she has to do." He looked at her and he said, "Gianna, you really got to fight through this. You need to turn this corner." So she was intubated, couldn't talk, but she shook her head.
From the very beginning, when you're really little in ballet, it's just, I mean, they tell you to do something and you're expected to do it, or you're expected to try your best.
Out of a miracle, all the monitors just started changing, and it really was like the light at the end of the tunnel. She just kind of came out of it like a miracle.
And I think that's what ballet has taught me a lot, is just to be strong and to not give up.
That's what got her through it, was that drive and determination. That's always been part of her, but it also was something that motivated her to get better. She wanted to get back on her feet and back dancing, and nothing was going to stop her from that goal.
I think I'm just thankful. Like, you don't think about those things if you've never gone through something like that. I mean, 6 months ago I was still in the hospital, like, to this day, and it's just a really great feeling to be dancing from the morning till the night.
You watch, you follow, you comment, you're DBL's #1 fan. But do you know the best way to feel like part of the action? On a really big TV. No, bigger. No, bigger! 4K big. And it can be yours. Send us a pic of you watching DBL on any screen or device, and you could be watching the next episode on a massive 4K TV. Snap a pic of you watching us, send it to dailyblastlive.com, and watch this Friday to see if you won. It's 4K Friday. Yeah, you're gonna need a bigger house. This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No. Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
Sam, you're wrong. I'm sorry, but you're wrong.
Log on and join our live conversation. I'm in!
Tori just won't let it go.
No. DBL starts right now.
Okay. 3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, November 7th, and we are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Bo, Brandon, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. It was a night of historic firsts, and today we are celebrating as a so-called pink wave swept the nation, with results still coming in. More than 100 women are projected to win seats in the House, shattering the former record. Here are some of them. And among those women celebrating historic firsts, Sharice Davids and Deb Haaland will become the first Native American women elected to Congress. Davids won in Kansas and is also openly lesbian. Haaland won in New Mexico. And for the first time, 2 Muslim women won. Rashida Tlaib in Michigan and Ilhan Omar, a Somali American, won in Minnesota. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. She's a 29-year-old Latina representing New York. And here in Colorado, Jared Polis became the first openly gay governor in U.S. history. And another win worth mentioning mentioning Texas Republican Dan Crenshaw won last night after SNL's Pete Davidson mocked him over the weekend. Crenshaw took a swipe at the show in his victory speech, saying, quote, "This election, the next couple of years are going to be about understanding what we all believe in together. And that used to be comedy and sports. Let's separate politics from these things. Let's enjoy life together as Americans, man."
Can I do something real quick? Can everyone in here give a round of applause for that pink wave? Because I think we're all represented in some way. You know, women, blacks, LGBT, like we're all
Muslims,
represented. And
Native
Muslims,
Americans.
exactly.
And representation matters.
Yes.
I'm so happy you said that, because if we are going to represent all Americans, we need to make sure that the people making those decisions, of course answering to the constituents, but represent America.
Yeah, and also I'm just glad that so many people ran. Women ran.
Yeah.
I mean, over 100 women ran. People of color ran. That says something about where we are in America. And as Bo and I said, the pendulum always comes back to the middle. We're way over on the right. We're way over on the left. America likes to be right in the homeostasis, right in that comfort zone.
And speaking of winning, we have a double win. So Bo, you won, and Marsha Blackburn, who is the first female senator of Tennessee, but you called it. And we didn't think that she would win because of Taylor Swift. But can we run that? And you can just kind of bask in this, Bo, bask in it.
Marsha Blackburn will win tomorrow pretty decidedly over Phil Bredesen, no matter what Taylor Swift says or does.
And let's say Marsha Blackburn does not win. Will
It's not
you
gonna happen.
recant?
What would I recant? She's going to win.
Yeah.
So confident, but he was right.
I did, and I have two Make America Great Again hats, one for Brandon, one for...
Oh, I have to leave. I'm getting breaking news.
They're not aware of them, are you? But I do have a American flag with a Tennessee flag, which I can give to Brandon.
Thank you, sir.
And in all seriousness, though, guys, I love what Dan Crenshaw said there. He's been a model of how to handle yourself when someone attacks you and puts you down and makes fun of you. And I think that type of civil discourse is exactly what we need right now. He's a star of the party, to be quite honest with you. So let's hope that this level of bipartisanship will bring us a new wave of civility.
Amen.
I agree.
Amen. I would just also like to say that it's important to recognize that when Dan Crenshaw, I do like him, but when he says to keep politics out of sports and entertainment, I don't always agree with that. Because I think it's very important to have satire and to discuss it, and that I like the blend. I think it's more important, but I do think civility is important.
I think civility is everything. And I just want to make a correction, because I believe our graphic said that Stacey Abrams won. She did not win yet.
We do not know.
We do not know. So just want to correct that.
Got it.
Good call.
Well, right now, President Trump just wrapped up a press conference after last night's historic midterms, but everyone is talking about his heated exchange with reporters. Kelly Schuberth has a story at the moment.
That's right, Sam. This story is all over right now. CNN's Jim Acosta asked the president to clarify a statement he made while campaigning when President Trump said the migrant caravan traveling through Mexico was an invasion. Listen.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his
Well, I'm
butt
not a
like the
big
rest
fan
of
of
us.
yours either. So
I understand.
You heard it there at the end of that clip. NBC's Peter Alexander even stepping in to defend Jim Acosta. Sam?
And I know we're all laughing because we've kind of become numb to this non-civility, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. We need civility in politics, and it needs to start with our president.
But Sam, 3 minutes of questioning. He gave him every opportunity. He answered 3 different questions of his. If you're going to be an instigator and poke and prod the President of the United States, don't you expect that he's going to say, let's move on?
But he wasn't, okay, number one.
It wasn't like he asked one question. It was like, oh, I don't want to.
to honor Jim Acosta. Jim Acosta is known to do this.
I'm not saying that Jim Acosta is completely innocent in this. I can look at both sides, but I can also say that I also hold my president to a higher standard, and I don't want my president immediately calling out the media, immediately calling out him on the world stage. I agree that Jim Acosta could probably do better.
How
but
can we hold?
But how come I can look at both sides, but you can't?
I can.
Okay, then do you think that our president handled that well?
Yeah, I do, and I'll tell you why. Because when you have a media,
that's not looking at it from both sides. That's not looking at it from both sides.
That's exactly what Jim Acosta did. This is his game. I mean, let's recognize this. If we want the media to be kept free, a free press, they've got to do their job too. Trump is just calling him out for exactly what he did poorly.
But he's not calling him out the right way.
So what's the right way to handle it then,
The
Sam?
right way is to handle it. I'm not on the podium.
How do you think it's supposed to be appropriate?
I certainly don't think calling him rude and terrible is a good way of doing it. He could have shut him up and said,
gave him every opportunity
I understand
to move
that,
on.
but he should be above insulting the media in that way. I agree with
Maybe Jim Acosta should insult him constantly.
I just wish that we would hold everybody to a higher standard. I wish that you could look at that piece and say that
I'm seeing it from both sides. Sam,
it doesn't sound like it because you're not
I
putting
want the president to be presidential, and I want the media to act like a responsible media.
Fair enough. Okay. Fair enough. I can agree with that statement. Yes, I can.
I
was
just
waiting for the crowd to yell, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.
It felt that way.
It sure did.
Yeah. And just make sure those MAGA hats are stuck under the table.
Oh, they're well under the table, Sam. Don't worry.
All right, well, we're going to switch gears here. We have some TV gossip news that is just too juicy to talk about. Former NBC talk show host Megyn Kelly is reaching out to another disgraced host, Matt Lauer, to talk about teaming up for a new morning show together. That's according to New York gossip columnist and podcast host Rob Shooter. Megyn, of course, lost her 9 a.m. talk show after making a controversial remark about blackface. And Matt Lauer was fired from his Today Show gig following a string of sexual harassment allegations. But one thing both of these hosts have in common, the Today Show had a ratings bump after they were ousted. But would these two really team up, or is this just gossip, Bo?
It's probably just gossip. I find it an interesting combination, though, because these are two people that have been let go from their jobs. They potentially, if they got together, I'm not saying it's ever going to happen. I think it's all conjecture at this point, but could be interesting. You have Megyn Kelly, who could actually talk about what historical connotations she got wrong. You have Matt Lauer, who's coming back, or I don't know if he will come back, but from terrible allegations about what he did at NBC. Put them together? Maybe, just maybe.
I think it's all real gossip, and I think it's really insulting to Megyn Kelly. I think Rob Shooter is dead wrong in this. I could be wrong, but I really believe she is a victim of sexual assault. She was pushed. She was grabbed. She pushed off Roger Ailes so hard, and then he said, when is your contract up? I really doubt that a sexual assault victim would be okay co-hosting just because it's interesting
but
with
have you ever seen that on television?
I don't want to see that on television. I don't want a victim to have to co-host with someone that was a sexual assaulter. I don't want that.
To raise the level of discussion?
No, I think it would cheapen her and bring his platform up, and I don't want to see it.
What if they both had an aha moment?
Yeah.
I think more so with Matt Lauer. I think that's what Bo's alluding to. If they both had an aha moment, if Matt Lauer can truly admit to all of his wrongdoings and say that he has atoned for those sins and he wants to be a better person, would that change your mind?
Yeah, of course, because I think they're both out for revenge. They both walked away with a pretty penny. So they don't need this job. So I look at it as something that if they can go back and stick it to NBC, that'll be a win for them.
I'd rather see Billy Bush get a job than Matt Lauer at this point. I just think we're forgiving a lot of that, and I don't think she would step in the same room as him.
Fair enough. Chime in, DBL Nation. We want to hear from you as well. And speaking of Megyn Kelly and everything we were alluding to, we're getting our first look right now at Russell Crowe playing her former boss, disgraced Fox News chairman and creator Roger Ailes. Production began this week in New York for a new Showtime limited series. And look at this side-by-side of the Oscar winner with the late Fox News chairman. Russell has really transformed himself. And Roger Ailes exited Fox News following multiple allegations of sexual harassment in 2016. And as you know, he died last year. Wow. First of all, the transformation is unbelievable.
It's insane.
He looks just like him. Do you think that, we've talked about the media being liberal leaning, right? Putting that lightly. Do you think that they are going to get this right?
I hope so. I mean, I guess it depends. It sounds like Gretchen Carlson was happy with who's playing her and thinks that they will get that story accurate. So I would say so. And I think about Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill and how great Russell Crowe looks as Roger Ailes right now. So, yeah, I hope they get it right. I hope they make it factual.
I do too.
I do too. And I just think notice the size is important. Roger Ailes was huge, but imagine being Megyn Kelly behind a desk and having that presence over you.
The physicality alone.
So it's important to recognize how big he was.
It really is. Very important.
Yeah.
Wow.
His character.
Whew. Wow, that was a great first
Yes,
vlog.
it was.
Good. Felt good.
We are a live show. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up next, fans said goodbye to Breaking Bad more than 5 years ago, but the hit series is planning a comeback, and we've got the details. Plus, our very own Brandon Lending goes behind the scenes at Days of Our Lives and finds out what makes a true soap opera superfan. And you, the viewer, are our 5th host. The amount of money raised for a music teacher arrested for fighting a disrespectful high school student might just shock you. Go to Twitter or Facebook and use the hashtag DBLTake to share your opinions with us. We may just read your comments live on air.
You watch, you follow, you comment. You're DBL's #1 fan. But do you know the best way to feel like part of the action? On a really big TV. No, bigger. No, bigger. 4K big. And it can be yours. Send us a pic of you watching DBL on any screen or device, and you could be watching the next episode on a massive 4K TV.
That I thought he had his turn and should have moved on. Do I think he needs to add injury to insult? No, but Acosta at some point you could say is trying to make a name for himself. And I love Jim Acosta. I love Jim Acosta.
And you know what?
But at some point you've got to stay and
Trump
respect
did,
the other reporters.
Rightfully so. Trump did ask him to move on multiple times.
Many times.
I still just want us to always be at our best, especially our president. I understand that you feel like he was picked and poked. I also see that Jim Acosta's trying to do his job, and I also think that he crossed the line. So, I don't know. I just want stability
we're such
more
an
than
era. I know, but Sam, we're in an era of ratings, and what I worry about is there are several people that have said to CNN, your ratings will be in the tank without Donald Trump. They would be absolutely in the tank. So Jim Acosta, think about this, is almost a P.T. Barnum for CNN. I mean, he's bringing them something because he's constantly pushing and prodding. Could you say that that's journalism? I don't know. When you're constantly doing this, when other reporters are in there, and
but
he's
there
trying
has
to
been
get
times
to them,
where President Trump, you're right to a degree, there has been times that where President Trump dodges his answers, and as a journalist, you're going to have to keep with that follow-up question so you can get the answer.
Why does Jim Acosta get more time than anybody else?
I agree. To me, I agree with Sam. You want to follow back, and you've got to push back. I think he crossed a line in this one, and I think he was told several times, give the microphone up.
Yeah.
And to me, it seemed like
There's
grandstanding.
other journalists that want to be able to get their questions out
Yes,
too. So I don't think it was fair.
And it wasn't a Kanye moment. It wasn't going up and taking the microphone out. If Trump had done it, it'd be a different thing.
But I don't
He
think
had an
Trump
age
should
to
have
it.
called them like a horrible.
But he said,
rude is terrible. I didn't think was.
I think rude is okay. I think it's okay to say, listen, you're being rude, and then just move on.
Yeah,
He just kept going and going and going to throw him under the bus, and
But this is what I'm trying to say. People think that Trump is attacking, has a war with the media, or that he doesn't believe in a fair, a free press. I disagree with that. He's taking these questions, Sam. He's taking every one of them. But when you have 3 minutes and 3 questions, you got to move on. And so I think saying you're being rude right now. Think about if someone was doing that to you.
If
you're
he
trying to have a press conference.
just said you're being rude right now, and then had somebody take away the microphone, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah,
But
a lot
it was
of
this
people.
30-second soliloquy. Bringing the man down.
Maybe we're both. Maybe we're all stupid.
Well,
and they're both doing it behind our backs.
Jason Anderson said, in the end, no one looks good. We all look like idiots to the rest of the world, and I think you just summed it up.
I think I agree. I agree.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay. Welcome back to DBL. Community members have raised more than $90,000 for the Los Angeles teacher arrested for punching a student. The incident was caught on camera. We want to warn you, it's pretty intense. This is the video that went viral, and here's why people are rallying behind the teacher. Watch as the student provokes him, first by throwing a basketball. Okay, there's the punch. Then he calls the teacher the N-word. Now some of the teacher's supporters are saying he was set up. So DBL Nation, does this teacher deserve support? We want to hear from you. Let's get right to their comments, Brandon.
Anna from Facebook says he shouldn't have hit the student. That's crazy. You don't put your hands on anyone's child. Well, Anna, these parents need to teach their children, don't put their hands on any teacher or any other students, or throwing a basketball at a kid, or even saying the N-word to a teacher. I think this, and you can see teachers have already raised over $100,000 in this man's defense. you guys know how I feel about it. Like, you know, I know you don't want him to stoop down to that level, but when kids are shooting up schools and all, who knows if that kid would have reached in his backpack and pulled out a knife or a gun.
Yeah, but the
I think he
teacher
may have saved his life.
I understand where the teacher's coming from. Trust me, I have so much empathy for that teacher and what that teacher was definitely provoked to do. However, the teacher's supposed to be the responsible one. The teacher's the one that's not supposed to lend to the chaos, but supposed to control the chaos. And as soon as that teacher acted out, that's when you saw all the other students start to scream because they saw the one person they look up to kind of lose control.
And right, if he had just reached out for something, that would have given you more impetus to say self-defense. He didn't.
He got hit with a basketball.
I understand, but the teacher hit him more than once, which is not a good thing. Deborah from Facebook says he's going to need every penny that was raised. I do want to give context to what Brandon is saying here. This kid is apparently, it was a setup, and this rant went on for over minutes. This wasn't a 30-second thing. He threw a basketball. Kids were holding cameras. He's been bullied before, so I understand the empathy for this teacher. I really do. But at some point, you can't touch a kid. You can't go down to that level.
And Sharon from Twitter says, don't lose sight of the fact that the teacher is still human. Unfortunately, I might have reacted the same way. Well, Sharon, I feel you on that, but we've got to have one adult in the room. We have to have a leader, and he's got to do the right thing. Now, having said that,
that's crazy, man.
It doesn't mean that we don't understand it.
But look, the N-word has no place in the public classroom or anywhere, in my opinion. The provocation is ridiculous, and there's got to be consequences for both of them. You can't strike a child. You just can't do it. There's public safety officers that can come in and deal with the situations. There are panic buttons that sometimes teachers can have. We need to talk about surveillance.
These are hypotheticals, bro.
And that kid
We're
is
looking at that right now.
Do you think his life was in true danger enough to strike him?
Who knows? That kid could, like I said, that kid could have pulled something out.
But he didn't pull. He didn't reach.
What if is the panic button and waiting for the police officer?
Well, call the police. That kid is a punk. That kid did deserve it, but it shouldn't have happened.
Agreed. He deserved
Did I say
it.
that?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, glad we agreed on something. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment.
That's right, Sam. Trending right now, a Breaking Bad movie is in the works 5 years after the hit TV series ended. But the details surrounding the film are still a bit of a mystery. It's rumored to be called Greenbrier and will start production in a couple weeks. Series creator Vince Gilligan is working on the new project, which is set to be a 2-hour movie. Now, there's no word yet if it's going to be in theaters or on your television screen, but I'll keep you posted.
Thank you, Raquel. Coming up on DBL, talk about a rough commute. You won't believe what kind of animal ran right into a guy on his daily walk. This video is crazy. Plus, our own Brandon London hangs out with Days of Our Lives superfans and channels his inner soap star. That's coming up next.
Are you guys having fun?
So we're talking a little bit more about the teacher, and a lot of you actually agreeing, just really quick on that press conference, lack of discretion on both sides. People just agreeing this looked bad in general, and I think we can all agree on that. It looked silly. As for the teacher, I think people feel, again, just what Sam said, it's justified, but it's also that would lead to chaos and no law and order if you allow anyone who can provoke you to punch back. Now, if the kid had, and I hear you, literally, it's this motion, literally. If the kid had done that,
that's not fair.
It's the
But
law.
here's the thing. Brandon brought up a great point in the break room. We did this police simulator, and we were officers, and there was someone there, and he had just a coat on, and all of a sudden he does that, and he got 2 shots into both of us before I could even draw. Action is always quicker than reaction. But when you're looking at a child and you don't know what he has, I see Brandon's point. He threw a basketball at him, but I don't know if throwing a basketball at you is worthy of 3 punches to the face.
It's not imminent. Your life isn't in imminent danger.
How do we know that, though?
Because
how do we
the
know?
law tells us if someone reaches for something or has a weapon, there it is.
We're talking about a 61-year-old man against a 14-year-old.
We talk about this all the time with cops too. We don't know what that person is pulling out, and what if he's going for his license? You see what I mean? Like, think about it from the other side too. Is it okay then for that person to now shoot him? I was just going for my.
But that's where we're after throwing a basketball at someone and by rating them with the N-word, you're not pulling out yesterday's homework. You know what I'm saying? So,
but remember, he didn't reach for anything.
But he didn't reach. But
right,
what
we
I'm
have to be
saying
clear on that. He did not reach for anything.
We know what's right and what's wrong. Like, believe me, like I said earlier, do I think the kid deserved it because he's a punk?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was wrong for the teacher to act
Sam,
that way.
I don't like the idea of deserved it. Deserved what? 3 punches to the face?
No, I see where you're going with that too.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Time for DBL Behind the Scenes. The biggest names from Days of Our Lives stopped in Colorado for a fan event, and co-host Brandon London got a chance to get up close and personal. Check it out.
I'm here at the Park Meadows Mall for the Days of Our Lives fan event. And before I get to chat with the fans, I get to talk to the cast. Check it out. You ready to see the fans?
Ready, man. I'm very grateful.
For us, this is so much fun. I can't wait to meet everyone and see everyone's beautiful faces.
Can I act out a scene with you?
Okay.
Jessica, you can't just show up at the facility like this. I told you, I cannot date you. You're my coach's wife.
I don't care.
Which cast member are you most excited to see?
Probably Chloe and Ben.
Ben.
Ben. Ben.
I don't even know how to tell you this, man. I feel like a dirtbag because you're my bro, but I'm in love with Jessica. When you finally walked up and you met Ben, what'd you say?
I was starstruck. I said I love you.
There are fans, and they are die-hard fans.
I used to run home from school for lunch when I was a little girl to watch Days of Our Lives and eat my lunch.
What an amazing time I've had. I've been having fun with all the fans. Are you guys having fun?
I love me some soap operas.
Yeah, the best part about it was watching generations of families together, and how, you know, the grandma would be like, oh yeah, we used to watch back in the day. Then the mom would be like, yeah, I used to watch. And now the youngest kid is like, yeah, I watched with my grandma. It brings us together. It's a tradition.
That's why people love soap operas, because the characters don't change.
Exactly.
I've been watching Y&R for 30 years, and Victor Newman and Jack Abbott are still hating one another. I hear you do a good, let's see Bo's Victor Newman.
You're not going to get away with this, Jeff. But seriously, though, it's a great point. My grandmother watched them, and now my mother watches them. I don't watch them, but I have been on some, and so it's kind of interesting to see that generational aspect.
I love it.
So
love. There's a feeling of safety there.
Yeah.
Nostalgia. All right, coming up on DBL, a wild tumble caught on camera. You'll never guess what creature ran right into a guy on his regular morning commute.
Hey, DBL Nation, welcome to The Breaks, where we bring you the latest trending stories around the web. And this one is trending right now. Riverdale fans, rejoice! Kelly Ripa is coming to Riverdale, coming soon. There's not a date officially yet, but she did say that she's been auditioning for this she said it's 23 years that she's been auditioning for a role that she was born to play. So it seems like this is going to be a great development for the show. The show's been running since about 2017, so still fairly fresh, still fairly new, but CW really packs a lot into their shows. They have very long seasons, and I'm sure her character is going to either become a regular, she's going to be on there a lot, she's going to be appearing on the show, but we still don't have a date. It just says coming soon, so it's like it's such a nice tease, but is it going to be like the very last scene of the last episode of the season? Because come on, that's just a little bit of a tease, but hopefully it'll be like in the show and she will have a big role in this. As you guys know, or Riverdale fans know, this is based off of the Archie comics and that whole continuity. Fun fact, Sabrina the Teenage Witch was actually supposed to appear and be a minor character in Riverdale, but because she was so popular and people loved the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch series so much, they actually gave her her own very own series on Netflix, which is based off of comic books that are a lot darker than the Sabrina Teenage Witch we've seen in past iterations. But like I was saying, Riverdale, Kelly Ripa is now cast onto the show. What do you guys think, DBL Nation? Do you watch Riverdale, and are you all caught up?
And don't you love Leo? Give him some love in your comments, too, because we love Leo.
Yeah, Riverdale, to be honest, guys, I've watched a couple episodes, and it's a really good show. I've read a little bit of Archie comics when I was much younger, and it looks like it's going to keep on going for a long time. The other CW shows, like their shows like Arrow, Flash, they've run. I know Arrow has run for 6-7 seasons, so they really know how to produce the shows so that they have longevity and they actually can last. But again, Kelly Ripa casting the new Riverdale show. DBL Nation, write us in. Are you excited? Do you like this development? Do you think she's gonna only pop up in the very end of the first season? We'll see you guys next break. Let us know.
Welcome back to DBL. A man in Japan has quite the story to tell after he was attacked by a wild boar on his way to work. Watch as the animal darts out of an alley, rams the man in the knees, and knocks him off his feet. Luckily, 2 people driving by honked their horns, scared the boar away. The man did have to go to the hospital, but he's expected to be okay.
Wow. Brandon, was that an illegal chop block?
No, that was a form tackle right there. He just has to wrap up.
I thought someone was going to say it was me because I bored that guy to death.
Oh.
Oh, Tori.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. I mean, where was the boar coming from?
I know.
You know? I feel bad for the boar. I feel bad for the man. I do feel bad for the man. But clearly this boar is like looking for his home somewhere. We just keep building and building and building.
Was his home. Ran right to his home.
No, he just has nowhere to go. We keep building, you know, on the land of all these wild animals.
There's a boar issue, isn't there? They're aggressive animals. In case anyone happens to run into a wild boar, they're not. You should stay away because they're aggressive. Am I right?
Yeah, that's why the Arkansas team is the Arkansas Razorbacks. Yeah, that's they're aggressive
because they're vicious.
That's it.
Well, DBL may be signing off in your city, but we're continuing our live coverage online. Have a great day, everybody.
Let's do this.
What's up, Bill?
All right.
What was your first road trip?
My first road trip, I think, would technically be driving to college.
Nice.
Cleveland to Jackson, Mississippi.
Whoa.
That would be I-71, and you take 71 and then I-55 up.
I went on a road trip to protest the Bush inauguration.
There we go.
8 hours from Michigan in a van. And I wanted to be on the real world so bad that I pretended there were like cameras in, much like this car right now. And I was like, oh, I'll drive. And I acted like I was on the real world and pretended to be like cool. And I definitely almost hit something and there were like several people in the car. So I learned my lesson.
Did someone say road trip? Before you channel your inner pioneer and put rubber to the pavement, make sure you have these road trip essentials. Entertainment. Whether it's music or stand-up comedy, just make sure everything is playable without cell service. Roadside emergency kit. This includes jumper cables, flashlight, and a gas can. A game plan. This may seem obvious, but having a plan of action eliminates time, stress, and wasted gas. And lastly, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield specializes in shielding their members from the high cost of auto repairs and allows you to drive with absolute peace of mind. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. That number again is 1-800.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable. What do you have to hide? Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, November 7th, and we are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. And I'm here with Erica, Jeff, Al, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. Hey, Al. Well, we do have a lot to get to. Lots of big stories to get to today, like this new skincare regimen you have to see to believe. It'll make you look 10 years younger. Who doesn't want to look 10 years younger? And your favorite first look, of course, your first look here at Oprah's favorite things for the holiday season. All of that in moments, but we are live. We got to get to this. President Trump just wrapped up a press conference after last night's historic midterms, but everyone is talking about his heated exchange with CNN's Jim Acosta. Watch.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President. I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not
like
a big
the rest
fan
of
of yours either. So
I understand.
And you heard it there at the end of that clip. NBC's Peter Alexander even stepping in to defend his competition, Jim Acosta. Well, you know, well, let me read this really quickly. This is a statement from CNN. The president's ongoing attacks on the press have gone too far. They are not only dangerous, they are disturbingly un-American. We stand behind Jim Acosta and his fellow journalists everywhere. Yeah, I woke up this morning very hopeful, seeing that we have a pink wave, a diverse wave, meaning that we have more women and minorities that are going to be joining Congress and the House than ever before, and bipartisanship, civility in politics. We saw a lot of Republicans and Democrats running on that last night. Here we are again, our very own president, no civility.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, Sam, and it could have been handled better. I think on both sides, though. I think he was being rude to the president. That is the president of the United States. No matter what you think about him, that's the president. If that was a president of another company and that someone was talking to that president like that, that would be considered rude, I think. I think there needs to be more control on both sides, and maybe even with the microphone. When he says, I'm done talking to that person, they should be done talking.
Listen, I think that there's been a history of behavior here when it comes to these press conferences where a lot of the journalists get cut off or they get deterred or they're not even, their questions aren't even answered. So I'm not saying that Jim Acosta couldn't have handled himself better, but I'm sure he's used to this pattern of behavior from our president who neglects the press, who calls the press fake news. And more importantly, this is our president. Can we please have our president be the leader when it comes to civility? Here he is waving his finger at Jim Acosta saying, you're terrible to people. You can't treat people that way. Really? Can you take a page from your own book, President Trump? You don't treat people great. Again, it's not even me being a liberal here. This is me just wanting civility in politics, and it's not happening with this president.
But is CNN treating him the right way? I don't think so, Sam. I think it's a two-way street.
So Jim Acosta, yeah. So could Jim Acosta have sat down and passed the microphone sooner? Yes, and I will give you that. But at the end of the day, he's not the president, and I hold the president to a much higher standard than Jim Acosta.
Right, but right now, you saying that, like, we can't go back on the president. The president is who he is. You know what I mean? He is this kind of guy. Being rude to him doesn't help anything. It's on both sides. I agree with you on that he was being rude to the press as well, but both sides have to take a step towards the middle. The president included, but so does the press.
I mean, are we worried that, Jeff, did you think it was an unfair question that he didn't answer? He asked a question about he was asked a question about some migrants that are on foot, that are weary with children, a group of migrant workers that are walking here. They're calling it an invasion, which is not the proper term. He asked for an answer to that. He didn't ask him about his marriage. He didn't ask him about what Melania is wearing today. He didn't ask him about anything like that. He just asked a general question, and it was unanswered.
I hear you. No, you're right, and you guys are right, and I see both sides. I'm not blind to see both sides. But at the same time, the media is not fair to him. They jump on him, too. So when he doesn't want to answer a question, I can see how the frustration comes out. But I do see both sides. You guys are correct.
Okay.
This is tough. Please, DBL Nation, chime in. This is, well, that's okay, Al. I think this is tough, and I have the right to my opinion. I think this is a tough one here because I'm sick and tired of having zero form and class in that White House. So yeah, I'm a little bit flustered right now, but I would love to hear from our DBL Nation. Please write in. Let us know what you think. You are our fifth host, and we can continue the conversation.
Are you guys worried that we're setting a precedent where the president is not answering questions that are asked to him by the media?
Yes, I am.
Okay, that's the First Amendment, and we're so hot about the Second Amendment, but no one talks about the First Amendment at all, and it's constantly being violated.
Well, we can talk about this for hours on end, but unfortunately we don't have hours on end to talk about this. Well, it was a night of historic firsts, and today we are celebrating as a so-called pink wave swept the nation. With results still coming in, more than 100 women are projected to win seats in the House, shattering the former record. Here are some of them. And among those women celebrating historic fights, Sharice Davids and Deb Haaland will become the first Native American women elected to Congress. Davids won in Kansas and is also openly lesbian. Haaland won in New Mexico. And for the first time, 2 Muslim women won. Rashida Tlaib in Michigan and Ilhan Omar, a Somali American, won in Minnesota. And Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. She's a 29-year-old Latina representing New York. And here in Colorado, big ups, Jared Polis became the first openly gay governor in U.S. history. And another win worth mentioning, Texas Republican Dan Crenshaw won last night after SNL's Pete Davidson mocked him over the weekend. Crenshaw took a swipe at the show in his victory speech, saying, quote, "This election, the next couple of years are going to be about understanding what we all believe in together. And that used to be comedy and sports. Let's separate politics from these things. Let's enjoy life together as Americans, man." I just really want to focus on celebrating all the firsts, all the glass ceilings that were shattered last night, Erica. I woke up feeling pretty hopeful this morning.
Well, yeah, and you should. I was listening to one of my motivational speech things this morning by Dr. Miles Moore, and he said, you can't ever go after what you want if you hate where you are. And I think what we saw 2 years ago were women saying, I am not standing for this. I do not like this feeling. And they started to do something. And for many of them, that meant changing entire careers, changing the landscape of where they were at, being vocal, because the devil that they did know was far worse than the devil that they didn't. And I think that this is just a result of that.
Yeah, and representation matters. To finally have like a house that represents the country.
Exciting.
Thank you for that. Very exciting. Well, this show is live, and we will bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up next, a miracle skin treatment you need to see to believe. Tori discovers why it'll take a decade off your face. Plus, DBL goes one-on-one with Oscar winner Monique, her inspiring message for women and why she thinks there aren't enough plus-size actresses in Hollywood. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A community is gathering thousands of dollars to support a teacher arrested for fighting an unruly student. And you're fired up with comments. That's coming up next.
Bo, do you want to talk? Yeah, sure. So we were just talking earlier. So I mean, now Bo is in our other shows. If you're watching in this hour, and he's not on your show. But we were talking earlier in an earlier show about the press conference, and your feeling was that Acosta was. Acosta. See what I did there?
That was exactly where I was about to go with. Acosta is an accoster, yes. I think so. Jim has done this for a long, long time. I mean, it's part of his brand. It's what he does. I believe in a fair and free press. I really do. But fairness is a two-way street. So I think that Jim Acosta needs to have more responsibility when he's asking questions to the president. It's a ridiculous notion to say that Trump is not honoring the free press by answering questions. Jim Acosta asked probably 3 to 5 questions. You can't monopolize that time when other reporters are there. You just can't do that. So isn't it unfair for someone to try to hog that time when you have 15 to 20 reporters in a room?
Is it unfair to hog that time? Yes. My feeling is when we get into this argument is between the press and the leader of the free world. It's the press's job to hold their feet to the fire. So to ask 5 questions to me does not seem that out of what the press is supposed to be doing. On our behalf, by the way, on your behalf, on my behalf. We're supposed to be getting the answers from the leader of the free world. That's their job.
Right. The question is would he do the same to President Obama? That's my question. If
it was President Obama at the podium, would you care if Jim asked him 5 questions?
Yeah, I would. 100%. I would say, move on. Your time's expired, regardless of who it is. I mean, that's the thing is, I think this adversarial relationship is part of the problem, to be quite honest with you. But there's a lot of people trying to ask questions. So,
all right, we'll talk more in the next breaks, guys.
On tomorrow's DBL, our Stephanie Jones is in Las Vegas with the guys of Magic Mike. See what happens when they ask her to join the show. Then we have some must-see skincare tips that'll have you looking younger and feeling better. Find out which products are the best and worst to buy. That's tomorrow.
Welcome back to DBL. Community members have raised more than $90,000 for the Los Angeles teacher arrested for punching a student. The incident was caught on camera. We want to warn you, it's pretty intense. So this is the video that went viral, and here's why people are rallying behind the teacher. Watch as the student provokes him, first by throwing a basketball, then he calls the teacher an N-word. There's the punch. Now some of the teacher's supporters say he was set up. So DBL Nation, does this teacher deserve support? Let's get right to your comments.
Ooh, all right. Keenan from Facebook says, similar to the people that donated money to George Zimmerman after killing Trayvon Martin, be careful who you donate to. That boy was out of line, but it was only his words. That teacher swung at him first. Keenan, I invite you to watch that video again. He assaulted him by throwing a basketball at him, and obviously when you see the tip of the video, you don't know what preceded that. As somebody that taught public middle school for 5 years, I have a unique perspective on this. You do have students that are flat, unfortunately, they're jerks. That kid is a jerk. I've read enough reports on this story. He had been baiting his teacher for years. I believe that there have been some confrontations before, and there's some kids that need to be removed from the classroom, but they can't because you legally have to teach these kids. So now every day you have a kid that is disrupting. We're focusing on one student. What the other kids in that video aren't doing is learning.
Yes.
And that every day that child goes to school, he's negating the education of 30 other kids in that classroom. So instead, we go after the teacher instead of the obvious problem, which is that child.
XO from YouTube says teachers are probably the most disrespected people, but that's kind of part of the job description now. XO, I know you're being funny about it, but you're absolutely spot on. I remember being very fearful for my mother to go to work every day because not only was she subjected to a lot of violence directed to her as well as around her, but it got to the point where when she was pregnant with my little sister and had to be physically shielded from a student who was out of control and violent, that she decided to move on with her career. So I think that people
we lose another good teacher.
Right, and I think that people need to understand that not every school is a school that's on your corner.
So what do we do here?
What is the answer?
Yeah, what do you think the answer is? I mean, our parents are educators. You were an educator. I don't think violence is ever the answer. I sympathize and have empathy for this teacher, but what should have happened here? How would you have handled it, Al?
I mean, this is I guarantee you, I would bet my career that this kid has been written up before. This teacher has made it aware that he's a problem in his classroom, and when nothing happens for weeks and weeks and maybe months and months and years, because sometimes you have the same kid for 3 years in a row, this is what you get. When things boil over, you see it on YouTube and you're like, how did that happen? I'll tell you when it happened. Day one when he was a 6th grader and he was like, watch this, and he threw something at his teacher. And here we are now, that kid's probably an 8th grader and dang near that guy's size. I mean, as a teacher, you have to be physically, protective of yourself, and that kid was the aggressor.
I would argue that the best thing that could happen would be nothing, because the worst thing that I've seen happen are the parents come, defend the child, or become violent with the teacher. Yeah, there's a lot of a-hole parents out there too, and that's why they have a-hole children.
And now I think you brought up a great point about context, because you see that video and you say, hey, it's never okay for a teacher to swing on a kid, and that might be true, but you don't know what happened before that. You don't know how many years, months, weeks, hours was going on before that. So I think it's a great point. We see things online, or we see a clip of a video and we're so quick to judge, but you're right, there's more context.
I mean, Jeff, you went to school. When's the last time you stood up in front of the entire class and got nose to nose with your teacher? I'm assuming never.
Never, yeah.
I mean, for a kid to feel that cavalier about doing something like that, there might be something going on. There are kids at our school that have anger management issues, that have they just have issues and they need to be dealt with. And it's not the teacher's job. The teacher's job is to teach.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you for that insight. We are live. Raquel Villanueva with news at this moment.
That's right, Sam. The election's over, but I still need you to vote because today is the last day to vote for Tori to win the Neil Patrick Harris Charity Dance Challenge. And she's only a few votes away from the top spot, about a dozen to be exact. We need your help, but first, watch the video.
Our first DBL video is coming to Neil Patrick Harris. Let's go, Tori.
Okay. She has to stretch. Don't hurt yourself now.
Here we go.
Be careful, girl. You're wearing a dress.
Chandler, you're in there, Lindsay.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work the camera a little more.
Yeah.
If Tori wins, Neil Patrick Harris will donate to St. Jude's. So head on over to the Duple app or go to duple.com and vote.
Thank you, Raquel. Yeah, Tori.
12 votes. We can do that right now.
Let's do it.
Get on your phones. Let's go, y'all.
do it. DBL is a live show, and we cover breaking news as soon as it happens, so keep it right here. And it's that time of year again. Oprah unveils her latest list of favorite things. We'll show you some of the coolest items coming up. And Oscar winner Monique chats with DBL, her encouraging message for all women and how she's working to set an example for plus-size ladies in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean,
you're the only one I can empathize, meaning my mom's an educator. My mom's taught in always public schools, really, really, really bad public schools in inner city Detroit, and then moderate public schools in Santa Cruz, California, so I can empathize with her situations, but it's always different when you can actually talk to someone that's been there, done that. So,
well, it's also different as a male teacher. I mean,
but is this a systemic failure? Like, what? Because you feel like this kid should have been removed.
I had kids like that. That kid is not unique.
So what did you do?
That kid is not special. You continue to make it known and to write reports. But what do you do if you feel like the report's going into the paper shredder? I mean, unfortunately, our schools are inundated with an incredible amount, mostly, the majority, sweet, caring, loving kids. And I don't want us to use the word like inner city as to mean urban bad kids. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Yeah,
a lot of
I didn't mean it that way. I wouldn't even use that in an example. Please. My mom did teach in the inner city, and she was a victim of violent crime while she was a teacher in the inner city.
Yeah, but bad kid is a bad kid.
That's not what I was saying.
That has nothing to do with it. And usually, a lot of times, kids from poor communities have, they understand the importance of them getting their education and getting their family to a better place.
You're also overworked. Those schools also, at least with my mom's school, she's teaching like 37 students.
Yeah, my average class size is 37.
Yeah. How is one teacher supposed to manage 37 students? How is that beneficial?
This needs to be a priority, everybody.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Welcome back to DBL. Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique is on a mission to spread positivity for plus-size women in Hollywood. She also has an inspiring message for all women. Our Tori Shulman chatted with her and her husband, Sydney, yesterday. Check it out.
All right, so my family, a lot of them are plus size. I am not a size 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. But where do you think the entertainment industry stands now when it comes to being inclusive to women of all sizes? Have we made progress? What do you guys feel?
Big women are not looked at in Hollywood standards as beautiful, as sexy. So when we see it, we celebrate it because it's like unique thing that happens every once in so many years where they say, see, let the big girl get a little love too. The average size woman in this country is a 14.
You have a platform. People do look to you. I know people personally that look up to you. What message do you have for plus size women that are actually acting or directing or in the entertainment industry? You went through it, you succeeded. What do you want to say to them right now, our DBL Nation?
What I'll say to all women is be unafraid to be who you are. Be unapologetic about who you are. May you be a 2, a 22, a 32, a 42, because the moment we keep separating it is why this country is in the position it's in right now, because everything is separated. Small woman, plus size woman, black woman, white man, black. We're separating everything.
So I can actually look at the screen and see someone that represents me. That's amazing.
So when it becomes a bit more diverse, though you may not be affected by it, we need to begin to start speaking that truth to the powers that be, because that will be representative of the world that we live in at large, as opposed to the world that the people in charge want you to see.
And Monique and her husband also have their own podcast. If you want to check it out, it's called Monique and Sydney's Open Relationship. The couple says it's all about having real and honest conversations with each other. And coming up on DBL, actress and TV host Busy Phillips shows our own Stephanie Jones DIY Christmas ornaments. They're super easy and fun to make too. And later, Jamie Foxx's words of wisdom will reveal the A-list star he helped get over a bad dating situation.
Guys, it's Sadie's here from the Daily Blast Live digital team, along with my girl Patty. Patty is actually a huge fan of the show Flipping Houses, right?
Flipping Out.
Flipping Out.
Girl,
and basically
yes.
the whole concept of the show is...
So you would love it. I can't believe you don't watch it.
I
So
don't.
it follows Jeff Lewis, who has an interior design,
Correct.
like flipping house company or whatever. And so it follows him and his business. And the big thing is that like he loses his cool like
All the
crazy.
time.
Like he flips,
basically.
So Jenny was like his assistant slash best friend, like more like sidekick.
So were they really best friends?
Oh
Because
my God,
this is what the story is all about.
Well, it seemed like it. They were like the cutest best friends.
Okay. But it looks like as things have
But looks
progressed,
can be deceiving.
right now it looks like they've had a huge separation, and it looks like he actually let her go, Jenny, the best friend,
Yeah.
because apparently she had no idea that this was happening.
Well, I find that hard to believe because she also lodged filed a complaint with Bravo saying that Jeff treated her poorly.
Right. Could you see that on the show daily, like consistently?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like that's what you could like kind of sign up for when you work with Jeff Lewis.
But if you're best friends, should you be treating your best friend like that? And
Well,
on
I
top
think
of
that
it,
if you-
firing them on the show with not even telling them?
Well, yeah, but with your best friend, you're used to that person. You obviously like that kind of thing.
I could see that definitely happening, but it definitely looks like she spoke out. She has a lot to say about it. And as far as in the guy, his name again is
Jeff Lewis.
Jeff Lewis, he's kind of like, hey, you win some, you lose some in this
Yeah.
situation. And she decided to take a big L.
Yeah,
you think
he
he's
is
crazy?
and I do think
he's certified.
Oh, he totally is
Certified.
certifiable. He is great TV though, but I do think that Jenny probably is like the level-headed, rational one, and that she.
Yeah, without Jenny, I wouldn't watch the show. How about that?
Well, that's the whole
Really?
thing.
Isn't he the kind of like the villain
Yeah,
though?
but
He's
she's
the
Yeah,
character.
but she's kind of
She's
like
the glue.
Great man, the comic
She's
relief.
like the comic relief, and she.
Mind you,
I
this
like
guy
their
fired her
dynamic.
first husband like season 1. Like this, like.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
remember
right.
that, Patty?
The fact
Yeah,
that this is like
that was a long time
happening.
ago. That was like what, 8 years ago?
Wow,
This
8
show's
years
been
ago.
on forever.
It's been on forever. Yeah.
I
It's
can't see
certainly
it
heritage.
surviving.
I can't
without
either.
her.
Well, especially because Jeff has now been dogging Bravo and Andy Cohen. Like he
Yes,
dogged
exactly.
Andy Cohen on his Sirius talk show,
Right.
By like reading text messages that Andy had sent Jeff.
Really?
Right.
He used to
Oh
read
yeah,
it
that's a
live,
big story.
What
And
were-
then
what were they?
Oh, he was saying
All
how
the dirt,
Andy
all
was
the
being like,
tea.
"Why are you talking about Bravo?" Blah blah. And then so Jeff starts reading them, and then he goes, "Oh, I just got one. Andy's apparently listening to me." And it was a text saying, "You're a blank,"
Right.
from Andy for reading my text messages. Which
On
you,
air
which
live.
you are, but
Yeah,
like that's
talk
the reason
about
why you
biting
listen to
the
Jeff
hand.
Lewis. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
well, I
very
think
true.
he's taken his character probably a little too
Yeah,
far.
totally. I mean, he's not gonna
Yeah.
like. If I was Bravo executive, I would not pick up the show. He just seems like too much of a liability.
But he can
I'm
always
not a
find
fan
somebody to basically fill her seat at this point. Find another assistant,
not
get
a
I
into
don't
it
think
with
you
her.
can. She's pretty. She's a gem.
Not a fan of Gage either. Just gonna say it. Put it out there. Boom.
Gage. Ooh, he just seems like a. He
One
seems
of
like
them.
such a wet blanket. Like
Yeah,
you know,
total
like
wah,
oh.
wah. Let us know what you guys. if you
DBL
watch
Nation.
Flipping Out, let us know.
Let us
Yeah.
know.
And what other shows you're watching?
Yeah, that
especially
too.
on Bravo.
Love
Because we
TV.
wanna-
Love Bravo.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. When Tori and I drove into work, you know how we do, we started talking about money-saving hacks. Here's today's DBL Drive presented by CarShield.
What are some of your best money-saving hacks?
First of all, I come from an old black man, obviously.
Yep.
And so one thing I grew up with was my dad swore you could reuse batteries by putting them in the freezer. Like, if something stopped working, he'd be like, don't throw that away. Put that in the freezer, plan. And we would put it in the freezer, and 6 months later, it would not work.
Wait,
but yeah,
so the cold would just make it work again?
I don't know if it was supposed, I don't know the thought process behind that.
Okay.
But a lot of old black folks think that putting batteries in the freezer, and there might be something to that.
Well, here's my thing. My mother, old Jewish women, put flashlights with their battery in the fridge as well, and her nail polish. Not sure why. I think they're supposed to last longer.
Right.
But I just get freezing cold. I don't know. Maybe they have something to do with it. So we always had flashlights with batteries. And so old Jewish women and old black men are kind of similar.
Saving money doesn't have to be a struggle. Here are some easy ways to get started. Record your expenses. Choose something to save for. Get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Yeah, I mean, love driving with Tori.
You two are hilarious.
Yeah, and I just love doing those DBL drives because it's like, Dunkin' Donuts today, it's going down. So
and we all benefit
those.
from that.
And
so we like it too, honey.
Yes. Now, any quick money-saving hacks for you guys? Like I said, I am all about those Mr. Clean wipes. They work on your car. They work on your white tennis shoes. They're the best.
That's good.
Really
I like
cheap.
cornstarch in a bottle to get rid of the wrinkles with some water and lavender oil.
Oh, all right. Make sure to tweet that out. I'm going to use that. So, you know, a little wrinkle sometimes.
Erica, do we have comments?
Yeah, a lot of people are commenting on the teacher. Obviously, that was a very polarizing story. Sarah Kopp says, neither, because they are both wrong. The teacher is an adult and should have known better. Vicky Corum says, one of the things I love about this show is the panel brings difficult views to the table because a viewer disagrees with one doesn't make them wrong. Thank you for that, Vicky. Melissa Roberts says, I back the teacher 110%. This kid is obviously a problem child. He threw the basketball at the teacher first, so he obviously instigated this incident.
All right. Well, if you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Just call him Dr. Love. Jamie Foxx's heartfelt dating advice for one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Then, holiday cheer with TV host Busy Phillips. She shows us how to make super easy Christmas ornaments. And Tori found the Fountain of Youth, the skincare secret that'll make you look 10 years younger when DBL comes back.
All right, yeah, I think everybody's still talking about the teacher issue, and it's just like, I think it's a fool's errand to look at a video and then try and figure out our public school system. I just, again, go back to everything.
And it is a public school. I looked it up.
Yes.
Some people were speculating, is this a private school? What's the student-teacher ratio? This is a public school, so you better believe the student-teacher ratio is big.
Right, and they're just, you know, because schools are obligated by law to teach certain students, to teach all students, that means that, yes, it's a good thing that every American kid born in this country is guaranteed an education, but what the unfortunate consequence of that rule is that that kid that is being such a distraction in class is then negating the rights of all those other kids in that classroom. It is impossible to teach with 1, 2, or 3 bad kids in your class. It's impossible. You become a babysitter.
We had, like, growing up, did you guys have, like, special education classes? Like, if someone was so disruptive for a certain amount of time, they would put them in, like,
or
a special...
an alternative school. This was
I don't know
an
what it's called. I don't even know if
this was
that's the right term, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look,
this was
having
an
anger management.
So this already what kind of like a special education?
It's not special education. This one was an alternative school where where a number of those students that had been previously disciplined from their previous school districts were sent to this school.
Right. Well, that
So that's even harder on the teacher.
That school should have a security guard in the classroom.
Yeah.
And I know of situations where that's the case. Again, it's not about that kid. And again, we're constantly talking about. Again, the whole thing, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. What about the other kids that's sitting silently, that is falling further and further behind his class, and not just that class, but the entire class? When they go to take their SATs, there's going to be lessons that they missed out on because their teacher was focused on that one student.
Ain't that the truth? Robbing everyone's education.
Everyone.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable, What do you have to hide? Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome back to DBL. We are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. Let's get started. Well, at this moment, we are tracking the latest in the midterm elections. So let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with the latest.
That's right, Sam. The Democrats now control the House and the Republicans are still in control of the Senate, but we're tracking some key races that still haven't been called. There could be a runoff election in Georgia where the governor's race is still too close to call. Right now, polls show Brian Kemp in the lead ahead of Stacey Abrams, but votes are still being counted as we speak. And we're also keeping an eye on Florida's Senate race between Democratic Senator Bill Nelson and Republican Rick Scott. Senator Nelson is asking for a recount right now, while Scott has already declared his victory. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, these next couple days will be very telling, so we will keep you guys all up to date. Well, actress Olivia Munn says Jamie Foxx gives great advice. On Busy Tonight, she's talking about the voicemail the Oscar winner left her. It happened after a party she left because of a guy that was there. Watch Olivia reenact the advice Jamie gave her.
Did you come out here to be somebody's girlfriend? No. Did you come out here to be somebody's wife? No. Did you come out here just to date this guy? No. Did you come out here to be an actress? Yes. Don't you ever, ever let me see you cry about some guy like that ever again. Sweetie, he was just so earnest. He was just like, I never want to see you let any man make you feel that small again.
Oh, well, there you go. What's the best dating advice you've ever received?
I live by it. It's just like follow your dreams, and you know, if somebody's there at the end, then great. But I don't know if it's possible to follow your dreams with a partner. I know it sounds harsh, but look, man, this is a tough business, and you're asking a lot.
This one.
If you are being fair to the person that you are with, especially as you're coming up in this business, there are long hours. As a comic, I am gone. I'm here all day. I'm gone all night. It's not fair to a partner. It's really not okay.
I'm going to challenge you on this because I know that I wouldn't be where I am today in my career if it weren't for my husband's support. Because there's a lot of dark days in any industry, but I can only speak to the entertainment industry. There were lots of dark days, and if it wasn't for him to uplift me and remind me why I'm doing it, I would have quit a long time ago.
And I think you got the wrong partner is what you're talking about. My wife now, Jordan, moved from North Carolina to Los Angeles, never crossing the Mississippi in her life prior to Big Brother. She got up and left for me to follow my dreams, which is very important. And I don't think I'd be here without her.
And what about Anthony? Come on, Erica.
Well, we're not doing well at all.
Yeah, right. No one buys that.
No, I think, and Al, honestly, I always joke with you, but you are jaded. I'm just being very honest, and this is coming from a divorced woman. So the idea is, ultimately, you can do bad by yourself. You don't need someone else.
Or you can really excel by yourself.
Yeah, you might be able to, but I know a lot of successful people, my husband included, who weren't nearly as happy because he had nothing to share that success, or no one to share that success with. Ultimately, when you're in a partnership, you want someone who is going to elevate you as much as you're going to elevate them. So yeah, if you are with someone who's bringing you down, then that's your problem.
I wouldn't say that they're bringing you down. I would say that it's disingenuous for you to get into a partnership with somebody if you do not have enough hours to go along with that relationship.
Well, let me put it this way.
And when I'm gone at night and I'm gone during the day, how do I build with you, Erica?
Let me just put it this way. My husband, who is a leader of industry, he would be unemployed right now, and so would I if we weren't together.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. And you feel, what do you think now?
I don't think that's right at all.
Okay.
I'll take the guy that's studying. I'll take the guy that's studying and the guy that's not at the movies.
Okay.
I'll take him as my doctor.
We'll talk at the break on that. Make sure you stick around also because our very own Stephanie Jones is talking with Busy Phillips in today's Chatting with the Stars. You can't miss that. Very cool. Well, we're getting our first look right now at Russell Crowe playing Megyn Kelly's former boss, disgraced Fox News chairman and creator Roger Ailes. Whoa. Production began this week in New York for a new Showtime limited series. Look at this side by side of the Oscar winner with the late Fox News chairman. Russell has really transformed himself. They look identical. And Roger Ailes exited Fox News following multiple allegations of sexual harassment in 2016, and he did die last year. Crazy transformation.
Is that all weight, or is that a little bit of like a body?
That's a little Meet the Clumps bodysuit.
It has to be, right? That's a long way from the Gladiator.
That's a long. I mean, I think that there's a little bit under there, but you can tell it's a fat suit, but it's a really good transformation.
Wow.
That's excellent.
And I think that's important, too. I was talking with Tori about it, and Tori was talking about the physicality of Roger Ailes. We know that he definitely, with the allegations of sexual misconduct, with intimidation, with threats. So you can just imagine, too, that he's a large man. That physical intimidation has a lot to do with it, too.
Yeah, just run a half a mile. You'll get away.
Erica. Erica, help me.
Sorry, I'm just going to tap out of that one.
I just wonder, like, how much they're going to adjust the story if they're going to stick to the script with so much going on.
Well,
with
Gretchen Carlson apparently has already given her blessing. So from what I mean, they've probably only seen scripts at this point.
Right, but I wonder if they're going to adjust to like try to keep up with the times.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean?
don't know. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I can't wait to watch it. Well, get your wallets ready. Oprah's favorite things for the holiday season are here. Take a look.
It's not just about what you give, but it's about the spirit. Look at that. In which you give it. So I would give this to all my girlfriends. So let's get started for Favorite Things 2018.
Yes, so this has us asking, if a celebrity endorses something, does it make you want to buy it more? Head to dblvote.com and let us know what you think. I got to go to you, Al, because I feel like that no celebrity could ever sway you except for maybe LeBron. So if LeBron James has a product, do you believe that it's like the best shoes ever? Would you go and buy it?
No, I'm 41. It doesn't matter. Unless LeBron James is putting his feet in those shoes, it's not going to help my game. No, you know, I think it's all about, like, when you check the internet, you can check and see what's good and what's bad. I mean, Puffy Ciroc vodka has never done bad by me.
Okay.
I'm fine by that.
Yeah, but look at there is an Oprah.
Yeah. So, yes.
But there is an Oprah effect. There is a Kardashian effect. So a lot of people are swayed by it.
But they put quality out there.
Even if Al ain't.
Sure. I think that has to do with the volume. I mean, it's almost a numbers game, but I will say that my husband and I are very much alike in that respect, that if there is a need that we've already identified in ourselves and someone else who we semi-trust has found a solution for it, then we will buy that product, which is how we ended up with the chili pad. Thank you, Von Miller.
What's the chili pad?
It's the pad that you put on your bed if you're a hot sleeper.
Honey, I'm a hot sleeper.
Yeah,
I'm a hot sleeper. You may have saved my life because I wake up almost every night multiple times fiddling with the thermostat.
And can I ask anybody a question here on this panel? Would anybody be sitting here or got through college without the Foreman grill?
True story.
Come on.
True
my
story.
Foreman grill 100%
Yes.
like saved me. That and Top Ramen.
Did you know Hulk Hogan passed on that endorsement?
No, that's too bad
Something
for
to think
him.
about.
Let's see what the viewers say. 73% say if celebrities endorse a product, are you more likely to buy it? No way.
No.
You're right there with Al. All right. Well, after 50 years in show business, actor Michael Douglas got his star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame, and Brandon's got the story in the London Lowdown.
That's right, Sam. Congrats, Michael, because the 74-year-old actor unveiled his star yesterday while surrounded by his star-studded family. Now, his father, 101-year-old Kirk Douglas, and his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, were there. And get this, Kirk's star is now just a few feet away from his sons. I mean, talk about talent that runs in that family. Now, Douglas also joked that it was about time he got his star after 5 decades in the movie biz. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 5 decades. Talk about longevity. And get this, DBL Nation, we're sitting down with Michael Douglas tomorrow for an interview. And clap it up for that one, because we got Michael Douglas, ladies and gentlemen. And we will bring you that interview next week, so stay tuned.
I love me some Michael Douglas. I'm excited for that interview.
It's going to be great.
Yep. All right. Well, coming up on DBL, our very own Steph Jones gets crafty with TV host Busy Phillips making Christmas ornaments. It's never been this fun. Look how cute they are. Then talk about a boring commute. You won't believe what kind of animal ran right into a guy on his daily walk. This video is crazy. But first, we think we've stumbled on the fountain of youth, guys. Tori shows us a revolutionary treatment that could take 10 years off your face. You have to stick around to see this.
Sadie's here from Daily Blast Live digital team. Big news that is trending right now. Looks like Ice Cube and LL Cool J are planning to buy a sports TV station. Now, you've heard about a ton of different rappers trying to get investments with these kind of situations. I think actually Diddy did it at one point in time. So this is actually a pretty big deal right now. According to TMZ, both entertainers are part of a power group looking to bid on 22 regional sports channels. That's a huge load of money, but we're talking about Ice Cube and we're talking about LL Cool J. They are definitely the ones to do it. So if you want to check that out, we've actually got it up for you right now. And I think Kelly has a breaking news story for you right now as well. Kelly, you got breaking news?
Hi, guys.
Kelly Schubert here with the digital team. I am tracking the latest in the midterm elections, and what I'm tracking right now is that Dennis Hoff, the owner of the Bunny Ranch in Nevada, he actually just won his seat. He was running for the 36th Assembly District, so he defeated Democratic educator Lazia Romanov, and so now, since he has passed away, last month when we reported that, county officials will now appoint a Republican to take his place. So it's really interesting. He was a pimp, the owner of the Bunny Ranch, and they voted him into office, which is kind of interesting. But I want to know your DBL take on it. So send us some comments, and we might read them later on the show. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Beauty Blast, we're turning back the clocks on our skin, way back. Check out this miracle makeover Tori Schulman discovered.
I found the fountain of youth. Well, it might not be the fountain of youth, but I'm here at Angel Aesthetics with the skincare guru, Angel Renee, who really can make you look 10 years younger. Ow. Ow. Angel? Is it really possible to turn back the clock on our skin?
It actually is. So with my Mile High Makeover, oftentimes someone who's like 30, 40, I'm erasing a good 10 years of skin. Our gal that we're doing, she has lots of damage. So she's gonna have a lot of what I call lifting, and those brown spots are gonna get significantly darker, and they're gonna slough off.
Tell us, Caitlin, why you specifically wanted the Mile High Makeover.
My skin has always been just something that I've never been super happy with.
Yeah.
But I just kind of took it, it's my skin, that's just how it is.
Angel's coveted Mile High Makeover consists of the following steps. Step 1, numbing cream is applied. Step 2, Angel cleanses and preps the skin with acetone. Step 3, time for the good stuff. Angel performs a top secret combination treatment. All we can say is that it involves a laser.
You want to say the B word, don't you?
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna come in and hold her hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. This is what a true friend does right here. This is friendship right here.
Step 4, rest for 7 days. During this time, the skin will start to slough off as it turns over. Step 5, back to see Angel to finish off the makeover.
So far, I'm so impressed with her after result. I mean, she's a little pink because she has all that new skin. She had lots and lots of lifting, and all that has come off, so whatever is remaining, I'm gonna dermaplane. Dermaplane removes the dead skin and vellus hair. It takes off all the peach fuzz, all the dead skin, and doesn't leave you pink and blotchy. So in a week, that's not gonna be so pink.
Take a look.
So the biggest myth for dermaplane is if I shave my face, will my hair grow back thicker? And that's a good old wives' tale, because bald men would have a full head of hair.
All right, guys, we're about to see the reveal. Come on out! Ah, you look amazing! Oh my God! How do you feel about yourself? Because that's really the most important, obviously.
It's just great. Like, I can't even like hold a smile. You know, you just look in the face and you just smile. Like, I don't even know. It's just, it really has changed a lot of things. So.
Wow.
Okay, that really is a transformation, Tori. Unbelievable. But what will people do if they don't have, not every city has an angel.
Not everyone has an angel.
Fly here.
Yeah, she has wings. She's going to try and fly here. Here's what she told me, because I asked that specifically. How can we get that transformation and if we don't live near you? And she said the #1 thing, ladies, gentlemen, use Dermaplane or get Dermaplane. It's everywhere around you. You can find it. You can Google it. You can Yelp it. It's that thing that just took the peach fuzz off. It will take off, exfoliate. It's better than a facial. It's cheaper than a facial. So go ahead and look for Dermaplane in your area. That's the #1 thing.
Thank you, Tori. Wow, I'm inspired.
I'm getting it tomorrow.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
I need to get it. We've gotten it before.
Yeah,
you need it, Jeff. You need it. Yeah.
Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow because Angel will be sharing her tips on how to look younger and save money at the same time. She will be sharing the best buys from your local drugstore. You do not want to miss it. Thank you, Tori. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at this moment.
That's right, Sam. Trending right now, a Breaking Bad movie is in the works 5 years after the hit TV series ended, but the details surrounding the film are still a bit of a mystery. It's rumored to be called Greenbrier and will start production in a couple weeks. Series creator Vince Gilligan is working on the new project, which is set to be a 2-hour movie. Now, there's no word yet on if it's going to be in theaters or on a television screen, but I'll keep you posted.
Ooh, how exciting. Thank you, Raquel. Coming up on DBL, a wild tumble. Caught on camera, you'll never guess what creature ran right into a guy in his regular morning commute. And who knew making Christmas ornaments could be so much fun? Busy Phillips teaches our very own Stephanie Jones a thing or two about crafting.
I'm just going to speak on behalf of all men, Jeff. Guys need to take care of their face. Jeff and I, we did it for a shoot, but also I've done it without any cameras there. Guys, your facial health, and I didn't realize this really until I started working here, and I realized like what damage the sun does to your face, just dirt getting in your pores. A lot of times the stuff you find at CVS just doesn't cut it.
Right.
You need to go get a facial.
You need to up your facial
I don't know
cream
why
game.
guys are so weird about their face. Guys will manicure their beard to death. They'll make sure their eyebrows are great. Make sure to get a $500 haircut. But it's like, if you touch your cheeks with anything, they're like, oh, what am I, my wife?
Right.
Get
They
your
don't want good.
face.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Just this part of your face as a man can't be touched. But
And especially
everything else.
if you live here in Denver, we're obviously filming here in Denver, it just dries you out, man.
Yeah.
Bad, like big time. So tomorrow, I'm actually, my wife Jordan made an appointment months ago, and it's tomorrow. Oddly enough, it just happened to fall in the same
Look, you
time.
found out
when
it is
was
hard.
packaged.
I was sitting there like, I want to get in there to see Angel on like maybe the first of the year.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
you gotta-
booked up. You
she's
got to book it
booked,
like now.
booked.
It's a good Christmas gift because I'm telling you, people. I swear to God, we're not getting paid for this or anything. She's
Not
just
at all.
good. Angel, remember when we came in that next day? People were like, dude, your skin's like glowing.
Right,
Remember?
yeah.
And people
Yeah.
like said that like the next day without even saying. So you tell me, Friday if my skin's glowing.
All right. Well, mine won't be, so there'll be a good contrast. Like, Al needs to get in to see Angel. So get your face together, fellas. And ladies, if you're watching, when your man comes home, be like, hey, fix it. Al and Jeff did it. Do better.
15 seconds.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, we're catching up with social media powerhouse Busy Phillips. With more than 1 million followers on Instagram, she's an actress, New York Times best-selling author, and now talk show host.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in. And
say it again. This is my Oprah moment. Say that again.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in, you guys. That was our Oprah moment today. Yes, Vanessa Hudgens, yes.
And as if she doesn't have enough on her plate already, Busy is also the ultimate crafting queen. So with the holiday season right around the corner, I asked her to teach me to give me a lesson on how to make some ornaments. Take a look at this. I'm joined by Busy Phillips. Hello.
Hi, so nice to see you.
So nice to
Stephanie.
see you.
I partner with Michaels because I'm obsessed with crafting. I have 2 little girls and we do lots of making in our household and especially around the holidays.
Okay, so today we're focusing on Christmas decorations, right?
Yeah.
I'm like just hoping for a glitter ball kind of thing going on over here, but
It looks really good.
I'm just mixing and matching everything right now.
I think it looks great. It looks like a little snowfall.
So what is the favorite ornament on your tree? So when it gets to Christmas, what's the #1 thing you're going to be putting on your tree?
Oh, wow. Well, I love all the ones that my girls have made over the years. And then my mom saved all the ornaments that my sister and I made over the years, so I have mine.
I love how you buffed one out already.
Yeah, I'm fast,
You're
girl.
on it.
I'm on it.
She's on it.
There's my little puffball ornament.
It's amazing.
It's cute.
And what other
my girls would love that.
What are your like family traditions? So what do you do with Birdie and Cricket? Like what's your at-home Christmas family time thing?
Well, there's lots of baking around the holidays.
Ooh,
Of
okay.
course. I like to make like lemon bars. I've always loved making lemon bars since I was a kid.
Lemon bars?
Yeah.
That sounds tricky.
It's not that tricky, but I don't know if that's a traditional Christmas cookie, but it is in my house.
This is going everywhere,
No, but that's the point. Like, it's fun. It can be messy. You can get it all over the place. Like, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna put a little bit of pom-pom. I'm just literally going all out with mine. This is like the ultimate ball of like anything goes.
I really like it. Crafting and making things is something that we do as a family.
I'm gonna make one for the show, a Daily Blast.
Oh, that's a great idea.
They're gonna love this. They better put it up in the studio.
Okay, I have to say, I think this is super cute.
That's really good. Right, I'm not gonna lie, I completely stole Busy's inspiration. There was no original creativity.
That's okay.
Okay, this was my original creativity right here, and then I just copied the good stuff.
But these look
by the pro.
cute. We've got little matching ones.
I feel like you guys are like BFFs already.
You know what? She's the nicest person ever and so creative. She was honestly pulling out these fabulous designs, and there was mine. It was just like a Christmas explosion of glitter and mess. It was all over me, all over the table, and then she's just there perfect with her apron on like, ta-da!
I have to say though, I liked yours with all the confetti inside and the glitter.
Great.
Yeah.
I got stuck in. I went all out. It's Christmas. You got to.
Exactly. We love you, Stephanie. Well done. Coming up on DBL, find out what creature came running after a man on his commute. Ouch. We'll be right back.
Guys, just giving you some breaking news. Jeff Sessions, the U.S. Attorney General, has submitted his resignation letter to President Donald Trump. This comes right after the midterm elections, and we're going to find out today. This is Associated Press is reporting it as well, and we are finding that President Trump tweeted, Jason, I'm right, Whitaker?
Yeah, Matthew Whitaker.
Matthew Whitaker is going to be taking over. A lot of people assumed, including myself, that Lindsey Graham would be called the next Attorney General. He sort of made a name for himself during the Kavanaugh hearings and tried to sort of outlandishly sort of call it out, and people said, oh, it was your audition to be Attorney General. It is not. It is Matthew Whitaker, so this seemed to have been a plan. Just so you guys know, the Attorney General is one of the only people, or the only person, that can fire or hire Robert Mueller. So during this Mueller investigation, you're going to look into that. The Dems now control the House, though, so they have a right to say, no, you can't. So there might be something in here that we're going to find out with more Mueller stuff. We're going to see if Sessions is going to talk to Mueller. But right now, what we know is Sessions has put in his submission for resignation. Trump has accepted it at the request of the president, and President Trump has tweeted that Matt Whitaker will be taking over as the next acting Attorney General. Again, a lot of people thought Lindsey Graham from South Carolina would obviously be the next to take over, but it turns out that it's Matt Whitaker. So this seems to have been a planned movement. So as soon as he resigned, the tweet came in. We're going to go to
So he's
Kelly
saying there may be a different permanent replacement is what Trump is tweeting.
But right now,
now.
acting Attorney
It's just
General.
the acting,
Yep.
but I don't know. Do you think he could he name Lindsey Graham after?
Yeah,
he
can really.
So he could.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's surprising that Lindsey Graham wasn't sort of already
Right
put
away.
into place face right away. We all thought that was the move you'd make. But we were going to keep our eyes and ears on this and let you guys know again. U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has resigned at the request of the president. President Trump has announced that Matt Whitaker will be taking over as acting Attorney General. That doesn't mean anything about permanent, but acting Attorney General right now. Again, the Attorney General is the one person that can kind of deal with the special prosecutor's Mueller investigation. But remember, the Dems now control the House, so they can stall any kind of issue. So it's all back and forth. We just want to let you know we are live as always, and we give you breaking news as we're hearing it, and want to keep you informed as much as possible. So write us in with any questions. Kelly and I are on it, and we'll get to you later. Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. A man in Japan's morning commute was anything but boring after a wild boar attacked him in the street. Watch as the animal darts out of an alley while the man walks by swinging his briefcase. The boar rams the man in the knees and knocks him off his feet. Luckily, 2 people driving by honked their horns, scared the boar away. The man did have to go to the hospital, but he's expected to be okay. Jeez, and I complain about my morning commute.
You sure he's okay? I don't know.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah,
the boar is okay.
I just feel sorry for him trying to explain that to people. And he's like, I'm late, but a boar attacked me. Like, okay.
I'd be like, sure.
Go see your boss.
Yeah. Yeah. Did your dog eat your homework in your briefcase too?
Yeah, that's scary. A wild boar attack. I've eaten wild boar. It's delicious.
Okay, that's not nice. Ow.
It is. We got to put them in their place. They're getting too uppity.
I don't agree with that.
You know, I can't have a wild boar.
No.
Why?
Erica, I believe we have comments in regard to the president's exchange with CNN Jim Acosta.
Yes, we do. Vibo says, I stand with Jim. Naomi says, what? That is the statement from CNN. The reporter kept pushing and pushing. Vicky Corum says, the guy in Oval Office has laid the groundwork for how social exchanges happen, especially the press. Joe Gutierrez says he attacked CNN first. Lyric Stroke says, I want class in the White House and a president that respects us as we respect him. Lyric also goes on to say, as a president, he should do better, period.
Wow, so everyone's on the same page.
We're all, it's very polarizing, you know,
yes.
And I think, you know, that sums up America right now. Also, since we are live, I do want to announce the news that we will continue to cover, that Jeff Sessions has just announced his resignation. We know that Matt Whitaker will be the acting Attorney General. That's all we know right now, but we will continue to keep you guys updated on this story. So DBL may be signing off in your city, but we are continuing our live coverage online. So join us over on your favorite social media platform for more of today's trending stories. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, everybody.
Let's do this.
What's up, Bill?
All right.
What was your first road trip?
My first road trip, I think, would technically be driving to college.
Nice.
Cleveland to Jackson, Mississippi.
Whoa.
That would be I-71, and you take 71 and then I-55.
I went on a road trip to protest the Bush inauguration.
There we go.
8 hours from Michigan in a van, and I wanted to be on the real world so bad that I pretended there were like cameras in, much like this car right now. And I was like, oh, I'll drive, and I acted like I was on the real world and pretended to be like cool, and I definitely almost hit something, and there were like several people in the car. So I learned my lesson.
Did someone say road trip? Before you channel your inner pioneer and put rubber to the pavement, make sure you have these road trip essentials. Entertainment. Whether it's music or stand-up comedy, just make sure everything is playable without cell service. Roadside emergency kit. This includes jumper cables, flashlight, and a gas can. A game plan. This may seem obvious, but having a plan of action eliminates time, stress, and wasted gas. And lastly, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield specializes in shielding their members from the high cost of auto repairs and allows you to drive with absolute peace of mind. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. That number again is 1-800-505-9619. Call right now.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, November 7th, and we are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Tori, Jeff, Al, and I'm Sam. Let's get started. Well, we do have a lot of big stories to get to today, like this new skincare regimen you have to see to believe. It'll make you look 10 years younger. And your first look at Oprah's favorite things for the holiday season. All of that in moments. But first, President Trump just wrapped up a press conference after last night's historic midterms. But everyone is talking about his heated exchange with CNN's Jim Acosta. Watch.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian
indictments
investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts.
Well, I'm not a big fan of yours either. So
I understand.
Oh my gosh, you heard it there at the end of that clip. NBC's Peter Alexander even stepping in to defend his competition, Jim Acosta. And here's a statement from CNN. It says in part, the president's ongoing attacks on the press have gone too far. They are not only dangerous, they are disturbingly un-American. We stand behind Jim Acosta and his fellow journalists everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, something's got to change. Something's got to give here. You know, I see both sides of this. I see, you know, the media does hammer Trump a little bit. You know, not a little bit. They hammer Trump.
Do they hammer Trump, or is this journalist and other journalists trying to hold him accountable? Trump is saying that the migrant caravan is an invasion. Those words are powerful, and I think that journalist was just trying to make sure that these people are on foot. They're not an invasion. But they're not a threat.
Okay, but isn't Trump allowed to be angry as well? The media's angry with Trump. Isn't Trump allowed to be angry with CNN? They do him no favors.
You know, if this trying to hold them accountable.
If you took Trump out of this, because everyone's gets very sensitive about Trump, if you put this in an NFL news conference, that guy's out of the room. He's not coming back in the room to ask questions.
But the difference is the president is
he's an elected public official.
I know, but if you say that about everything to defend the president, every word no matter what the subject we're talking about, and you're like, but he's the president, we're not going to get anywhere.
Well, we haven't seen other presidents act this way. Has George Bush act this way?
I think addressing the caravan is what most of the Republican ticket ran on, is the fear that this caravan is coming here, and making clear the fact that these people are on foot, they're tired, they're weary, they're poor, and they have no weapons. I think it's a fair point to make. And I think that it's disingenuous for us to sit up here on this panel and act like the rhetoric that's been attacked by the media didn't have anything to do with the fact that we now have an American journalist that's in 36 pieces in somebody's garden.
And I hear you, and I do think that Trump is rude to the media, and I do think that the media has a right to fight, but I also think this. In this one action, I support
Jeff on this. I think Jim Acosta went too far. I watched it over and over. He was told several times, and in the press pool, you follow the common law. You ask a question, you get a follow-up. He already did. He went on and on and on.
He didn't answer the question, Tori.
But at some point, that's the rule of the press pool. You move on.
Yeah, he's not Kanye West leaving a nightclub declining comment.
But the president has said, I'd like to move, I'm moving on, whether it was rude or not. And
you can't move on from a question you didn't answer.
It happens every day. That's what politics.
Well, then we'll do that on this panel. Then we'll just say we're moving on. We'll just bring up a topic and not address and say moving on. What's the point of that?
That's basically. What I'm saying here is I agree with you guys about the president. I agree that he is wrongly accusing the media for being the enemy of the state, and I'm completely against that. What I don't like is when someone isn't listening and respecting the rules of the White House and the office of the presidency. That bothers me.
So do you think they're both wrong?
Yeah, I think Acosta went too far on this one. I do.
By asking a question?
But he was repeatedly told, move on.
But he didn't answer the question.
But you can't just have chaos in the press pool.
I don't think a question should cause chaos at the press pool.
But he asked it 20 times.
I do have breaking news. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have breaking news right now. Let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. I've got breaking news just in. Attorney General Jeff Sessions has just submitted his resignation to President Trump. Sessions submitted his resignation letter, and in it he wrote that he was resigning at the president's request. President Trump just tweeted saying Sessions' Chief of Staff, Matthew Whitaker, will become the acting Attorney General. I'll keep you updated on this developing story.
Yeah, Matt Whitaker, just so you know, is a Trump loyalist. Chief of Staff for Sessions, as Kelly said, wrote an opinion for CNN recently called Mueller's investigation of Trump is going too far. So this is someone who believes the Mueller investigation. That Attorney General spot is the one spot that can stop the Mueller investigation. Luckily, the Dems have the House, so there'll be a check and balance. That's a very powerful position.
Are you surprised about this?
I thought Lindsey Graham would be heralded in right away, so I'm very surprised.
He would be stepped down?
I thought he would be
removed?
No, I thought Lindsey Graham would take Attorney General. I thought he would be moved in as Jeff Sessions was taken by. So Matt Whitaker's kind of a surprise for a lot of people.
Right, and we will keep you guys all up to date on this. Kelly is on it. Moving on, it was a night of historic firsts, and today we are celebrating here at DBL as a so-called pink wave swept the nation. With results still coming in, more than 100 women are projected to win seats in the House, shattering the former record. Several women won for governor. Here are some of them. And among those women celebrating historic firsts, Sharice Davids and Deb Haaland will become the first Native American women elected to Congress. Davids won in Kansas and is also openly lesbian. Haaland won in New Mexico. And for the first time, two Muslim women won. Rashida Tlaib in Michigan and Ilhan Omar, a Somali American, won in Minnesota. And Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. She's a 29-year-old Latina representing New York. And here in Colorado, Jared Polis became the first openly gay governor in U.S. history. I woke up so hopeful this morning because we always talk about how much representation matters on this show. And I feel like with the House and with a lot of the governor seats, we're seeing representation trickle and really be a great representation of all the people finally in this country.
I think that's what most people want, is just representation, a government that looks like our country.
Yep.
And I think that our country looks like white men, Latina lesbians, black men. Look, this is what we are. We are supposed to be a melting pot, but yet when you take a snapshot of what our government looks like, it looks like it's happening at an LL Bean factory. So
that's true.
What we need to do
Sadly.
is we need to get some more diversity up in here, up in here.
Yes, we do, and it looks like we are taking one step in the right direction. And right now, the Girl Scouts of America are suing the Boy Scouts. The suit claims that because the Boy Scouts dropped the word boys from its name, the group is confusing consumers and diminishing the Girl Scout brand for its part. The Boy Scouts say they dropped the word boys in order to attract girls to join. But does this really impact the Girl Scout brand, or should the two groups combine efforts? What do you think, Jeff?
I think they should combine. I don't know why I'm laughing.
Why are you laughing?
There's a lot of context there. You want the Boy Scouts to beat the Girl Scouts, yes or no? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should all go together. We're talking about diversity. Why not let them in? And now you're always talking about that cookie money. They're not letting anybody get their hands on that.
That's what it is.
I'm serious.
We're talking about a brand. I mean, I feel like the Girl Scouts are the college basketball of our world. They have employees that they do not pay, and they make billions of dollars off of them. They send cute little girls to your door. You buy cookies.
Delicious.
If somebody came to your door and tried to sell you some Oreos, you'd be like, get off my front desk. No,
they don't only sell cookies.
They make billions of dollars. Where's the money at, Sam?
Okay,
Where's the money?
We can have a conversation about the money, but let's not boil it down to just Girl Scouts are selling cookies door to door.
They are.
They not like a drug ring.
They make more money than most drug rings.
Okay.
Their are addictive.
They also teach them a lot of things about morals.
Yes, how to
and
work
character.
for free. Hand the money to your mom and let her bully the people in her office and then bring us the cash.
But you did bring up brand. I looked at the lawsuit, and the lawsuit is very specific about brand confusion, and they believe.
Okay, let me just say this.
Do you think they should merge?
I feel like you, of all people, Sammy, would you be happy about this because you're removing the gender role and just making it.
I am happy about it. Don't assume.
But I'm saying then that shows you the Girl Scouts is about money. They're not about inclusion.
Yeah,
I'm down with the Girl Scouts. I'm going to take them down for my career's over.
I'm on the side of the Scouts. I just don't think that you should.
The Scouts are $1 billion juggernaut sent to destroy our community. There, I said it.
It's out there.
This show is live, and we'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, a miracle skin treatment you need to see to believe. Tori discovers why it'll take a decade off your face. Plus, DBL goes one-on-one with Oscar winner Monique, her inspiring message for women and why she thinks there aren't enough plus-size actresses in Hollywood. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A community is gathering thousands of dollars to support a teacher arrested for fighting an unruly student, and you're fired up with comments next.
I think Al was confused by what I said.
I get confused also.
There's 2 points to, so number one, I don't think that you could, so the Scouts are the Boy Scouts, now called the Scouts, okay? So I was advocating for the Scouts. The Girl Scouts, what I take issue with, first of all, they don't just sell cookies door to door. So that's what I was correcting Al about.
The majority of their business comes from
But
selling
I agree with you. But you mentioned brand, right?
Right.
So I looked at their lawsuit. Why they are taking such issue with the Scouts now is because they believe the brand confusion, which means they're blaming that brand confusion on why their membership dollars and participation has declined.
The word
so
Scouts without gender modification.
They are looking at a decrease in their bottom line. So you're right, it boils all down to money.
It's true.
I have no issue with the Scouts. I advocate for the Scouts because I like the idea that they're inclusive and there is no
you mean the former Boy Scouts?
Yeah, the Scouts.
Yes,
right.
yes.
The Scouts.
Which will now allow girls. But the problem is with trademark, just to get nerdy, you can't have it's confusion.
Yep.
You can't have something that is.
I think they might win this lawsuit.
They might because a lot of people went to the Scouts thinking it was the Girl Scouts. And
come
if you're
on,
confusing
parents, do
your
your
trademark,
due diligence.
When you get there and there are 500 boys in the cafeteria, you can't figure that out. You need to give
Do your due diligence because also the Boy Scouts, now the Scouts, have a totally different set of like things that they teach the Scouts.
Right.
So like, for instance, I would look
What
at
do
it.
their jerseys look like?
If Sophie wanted to do one or the other and say, this is what they teach in the Scouts, this is what they're teaching in the Girl Scouts, what would you rather do? Because I know the Scouts is a little bit more survivalist.
Right. I think
what
I'd
if
rather do
Sophie
that.
would rather like build fires?
Right.
So it's interesting. So just make sure, parents, to do your research first.
On tomorrow's DBL, our Stephanie Jones is in Las Vegas with the guys of Magic Mike. See what happens when they ask her to join the show. Then we have some must-see skincare tips that'll have you looking younger and feeling better. Find out which products are the best and worst to buy. That's tomorrow.
Welcome back to DBL. Community members have raised more than $90,000 for the Los Angeles teacher arrested for punching a student. The incident was caught on camera, and we want to warn you, it is pretty intense. This is the video that went viral, and here's why people are rallying behind the teacher. Watch as the student provokes him, first by throwing a basketball, then he calls the teacher the N-word. Now some of the teacher supporters say he was set up. Wow. So DBL Nation, does this teacher deserve support? Let's get right to your comments. And just to preface it, we have our very own Al Jackson, who was a middle school teacher for about 5, 6 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Brittany from Facebook says, as a parent, I support the teacher, exclamation point. And she says the child's parents should make him apologize. Well, Brittany, what you're talking about is something called accountability. And unfortunately, it's not always where you'd like it to be, but I completely agree with you. Our teachers are put through hell every day. You know, obviously we talked about the pay, but this isn't about that. This is about teachers being forced to deal with kids, some of them that have mental health issues with authority, issues with anger management, issues with just mental health in general, and they're put into class. And I know we are by law we're supposed to teach them, but that law, there's a comma in that law, and what's inherently not said is that when that kid goes to your kid's class, it's going to affect your child's education, because the teacher is now going to spend 60% of their time dealing with two or three bad apples instead of the 27 kids that are there to learn.
Robbing everyone's education.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Said from the teacher. Yep. No one else knows. Chris from Facebook says, I don't support the teacher or the child. They both were out of line. Violence never solves anything. Just to give context here, apparently some people are saying this was a setup. This child went on and on for minutes before you saw that, and this teacher calmly absorbed it. It was when he threw the basketball, called him the N-word, he crossed the line. I agree. But this kid went on and on and on, and at some point, I think we can all have empathy with his teacher completely, because I don't know what I would have been able to do.
I think context is important
here.
It is. You see a 2-second clip and you're immediately judged.
Exactly.
You don't know what the
it's
history,
not fair.
what
it's
happened
not fair.
there. All right, Carol from Facebook says, as a retired teacher, I can tell you that support for teachers in situations like this is very rare. Well, I don't know how rare this situation is. I mean, we talked with our very own Al Jackson. He's a teacher. I don't know if I would have straight swung on that kid, maybe wrestle him down. But again, context is everything here. I don't know what happened before that. I don't know how long this has been going on. It could be months. It could have been years. So I don't know what to do. Something needs to be done, and to be quite honest with you, I don't know the answer.
There were teachers every year, and Sam, I don't want to cut you off, but at the beginning of every school year, we would get our class roster, and there would be teachers, especially female teachers, that would say, I don't feel safe with Jeff X in my classroom. And they would have to be moved because they were such a danger before the year even started.
I understand it. My mom was a middle school teacher, elementary school teacher for many years, and she often said the same thing. However, I will say, because the teacher acted out, even though I understand it, it now convolutes what the student did. It doesn't make it so cut and dry. And I just want to see that student being held accountable. Well, we are live. Raquel Villanueva with news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. The midterms are over, but we still need you to vote, because today is the last day to vote for Tori to win the Neil Patrick Harris Charity Dance Challenge. And she's only a few votes away from the top spot, but we need your help. But first, watch this video.
Our first DBL video is coming to Neil Patrick Harris. Let's go, Tori.
Okay. She has to stretch. Don't hurt yourself now.
Here we go.
Be careful, girl. You're wearing a dress.
Chandler, you're in there, Lindsay.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work the camera a little more.
Yeah.
If Tori wins, Neil Patrick Harris will donate to St. Jude. Head on over to the Duple app, that's D-U-U-P-L-E, or duple.com, and vote.
Thank you, Raquel. Way to go, Tori.
Tori, you got this. You get a I voted for Tori sticker?
Oh, yes. For sure.
I have a lot of hair, but it's
Yeah, it's so cool. So St. Jude's, just so you guys know, is a hospital that Danny Thomas started in 1962. His daughter Marla Thomas still runs, and they don't turn any child away from cancer. You're fine. And they also don't make you pay for anything. So it's an incredible honor to be
Are they
up for
similar
Duple.
with the Ronald McDonald House in that nature?
And they, even Ronald McDonald, I think St. Jude's, but Chili's, if you ever wanted to go to a nice restaurant.
Okay,
Chili's just donated a lab research. It's like $50 million to St.
I'll come talk to you about this, because this is my favorite charity, because I'm from Memphis, so I love St. Jude. And I'm sure you already said it, but any kid who goes there who can't afford to pay for cancer treatment, their family can't afford it, they don't make them pay. The Grizzlies have also gotten involved now, the NBA team. They opened an entire separate hospital for them, so that's cool. And the Grizzlies, like, the players come by and visit the kids, so it's just a great place to donate to, a great charity. So I really want Tori to win. So we really want to win.
I just want to get more famous so I can go visit kids in the hospital and they won't be like, who's this? Why is my
I get
doctor
it.
underdressed?
To know that I get it.
Yes.
To know that your presence could help a child and uplift somebody.
in that way is so awesome.
So
And just
important.
The fact that so many parents and across America have to deal with this, and they don't know how to afford to pay for their children to get better, and they can go to St. Jude and do that. And
It's
I just
incredible.
imagine.
It's an
Yeah.
incredible honor to even be up for it. So if you don't know anything about St. Jude's, make sure you take a look at it. Started with Danny Thomas. Now Marla, his daughter, runs it. Great, great organization.
Yep, and we've got that link on our Facebook page so you can go vote for Tori. So go do it.
Welcome back to DBL. Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique is on a mission to spread positivity for plus-size women in Hollywood. She also has an inspiring message for all women. Our Tori Shulman chatted with her and her husband Sydney yesterday. Check it out.
All right, so my family, a lot of them are plus size. I am not a size 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. But where do you think the entertainment industry stands now when it comes to being inclusive to women of all sizes? Have we made progress? What do you guys feel?
Big women are not looked at in Hollywood standards as beautiful, as sexy. So when we see it, we celebrate it because it's like unique thing that happens every once in so many years where they say, see, let the big girl get a little love too. The average size woman in this country is a 14.
You have a platform. People do look to you. I know people personally that look up to you. What message do you have for plus size women that are actually acting or directing or in the entertainment industry? You went through it, you succeeded. What do you want to say to them right now, our DBL Nation?
What I'll say to all women is be unafraid to be who you are. Be unapologetic about who you are. May you be a 2, a 22, a 32, a 42, because the moment we keep separating it is why this country is in the position it's in right now, because everything is separated. Small woman, plus size woman, black woman, white man, black. We're separating everything.
So I can actually look at the screen and see someone that represents me. That's amazing.
So when it becomes a bit more diverse, though you may not be affected by it, we need to begin to start speaking that truth to the powers that be, because that will be representative of the world that we live in at large, as opposed to the world that the people in charge want you to see.
And Monique and her husband also have their own podcast. If you want to check it out, it's called Monique and Sydney's Open Relationship. The couple says it's all about having real and honest conversations with each other. Coming up on DBL, actress and TV host Busy Phillips shows our own Stephanie Jones DIY Christmas ornaments. They're super easy and fun to make too. And later, Jamie Foxx's words of wisdom will reveal the A-list star he helped get over a bad dating situation.
Let's do it.
Hey, DBL Nation. Welcome to The Breaks, where we're bringing you the latest trending stories around the web. What's up, Tori?
You guys can like hear me before I get on. I'm like,
oh my God.
It's like a bear coming
It's a tread jumping down these
Dude,
stairs.
be careful,
like, for
John.
real. Yeah, watch out, man. You're really close. I got it.
What's going on,
So
Leo?
this first story is trending on Engadget.com. It talks about Facebook. And there's a new feature out, everybody, or that's going to roll out, that will allow you to unsend messages for up to 10 minutes after sending that message.
Wow. I could have used this in 2000.
I was going to say, this is actually a great feature. Imagine, what if you just send the wrong thing to the wrong person? Like, you know, you send something to your mom that was meant to be sent to your girlfriend. Like, you know.
We've all done that.
It's a great feature
It's
to
a
be
thing.
able to go in and delete that and stop that from happening.
So
It's happened to me
Facebook
before.
Facebook message.
It's Facebook
All
Messenger.
right.
It's happened to me before with my mother. And luckily it wasn't anything bad. It's just language I want to use with my mom. You know what I mean? So
Leo,
if
you
we
don't
could-
use bad
right, like, it was a
language.
harsh no-no.
It was a harsh no-no.
So I think this could be a feature that could be rolled out on multiple things. Gmail.
So in fact, they do
other sites,
have
Twitter.
I completely agree. Twitter, I wish you could edit the tweets.
Yeah.
Which I think is annoying. Just so you know, Tipsy Tory, which is my show that sometimes we play with hacks. I do have on Gmail how to unsend an email.
That's right.
And set it for up to a minute. And so go search Tipsy Tory unsend an email because it saves me It saves
What
me.
is it, 10 minutes? Like,
No,
is it
you can have it go,
however
I
long?
think, only up to about a minute.
Oh,
So you have a minute to resend that, retake that
That's
back.
right, because it does, like, right after it, like, kind of collaborates.
Exactly.
And it's, like, loading and it's in the outbox.
And you can have it wait, and it's just a little check mark you have to hit. So make sure you look for that because it's really helpful.
Cool,
We've all
actually.
done that.
Yeah. Wow, right on. I'm actually going to check that out for me. And then another story coming off of Verge. Toys R Us, gone. Y'all know about that, right? We all know about that. However, Amazon is now sending toy catalogs to people instead. And I think this is actually kind of helpful to the people that used to peel open those catalogs.
So they're sending hard copies.
Yeah, they're sending hard copies, which, does it sound like we're getting back towards paper?
Yeah, it feels a little bit like the Sears catalog, like Toys R Us. Like, I think people really love that during Christmas, especially, and the holidays, to have something, like, tangible.
Would you prefer an online catalog, though?
Obviously,
or,
I would, but I
like,
think certain demographics would feel more comfortable being like, B42 in Ecru.
That's a good point. For me,
it's
just put it online, like. But I mean, a paper could be helpful for people who really
Like my
need
mom,
to read close. Yeah, exactly.
She is technologically okay, but she would rather look at something than be like.
I'll admit, I mean, my mother would like to do the same.
Yeah,
so I think you're right. It depends on the demographic.
And a lot of grandparents are buying toys during holidays, so grandparents probably want to flip through.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
it can make it a lot easier
It
for
can,
them instead of like scrolling through a website.
Right.
But guys, write us in. Let us know. Are you shopping on Amazon this Christmas? See you next break.
See you next break.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. When Tori and I drove into work, you know how we do, we started talking about money-saving hacks. Here's today's DBL Drive presented by CarShield.
What are some of your best money-saving hacks?
First of all, I come from an old black man, obviously, and so one thing I grew up with was my dad swore you could reuse batteries by putting them in the freezer. Like, if something stopped working, he'd be like, don't throw that away. Put that in the freezer, player. And we would put it in the freezer, and 6 months later, it would not work.
Wait,
but
so the cold would just make it work again?
I don't know if it was supposed, I don't know the thought process behind that. But a lot of old black folks think that putting batteries in the freezer, and there might be something to that.
Well, here's my thing. My mother, old Jewish women, put flashlights with their battery in the fridge as well, and her nail polish. Not sure why. I think they are supposed to last longer.
Right.
But I just get freezing cold. I don't know. Maybe they have something to do with it. So we always had flashlights with batteries. And so old Jewish women and old black men are kind of similar.
Saving money doesn't have to be a struggle. Here are some easy ways to get started. Record your expenses. Choose something to save for. Get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Comments. Nice. Thanks, guys. Tori, we have a lot of comments from DBL Nation.
Yeah, you guys are fired up. Again, this is Michelle Castile from Facebook. Press have shown over and over that they are biased.
So this is Trump and
Jim Acosta on CNN. Mohammed Midlow on Facebook says he doesn't like journalists. Michelle Laughter Walker says it's up to the people to hold him accountable, not the press. Claire Wilson says we are ashamed of him as a president. So people split right down the middle whether or not this was an outrageous behavior on which side. But no matter what, it looked bad. We look bad in front of the global community. It looks silly.
I think we could all agree with that.
Yeah,
right?
I think we all just need to do better. And that starts with the top.
Yeah.
And Tori.
And Tori. If you're leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on Daily Blast Live.
Just call him Dr. Love. Jamie Foxx's heartfelt dating advice for one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Then, holiday cheer with TV host Busy Phillips. She shows us how to make super easy Christmas ornaments. And Tori found the Fountain of Youth, the skincare secret that'll make you look 10 years younger when DBL comes back.
Guys, I want to read some of your comments. It looks like we are getting, more comments going back to the Girl Scouts. So Sherry Shaleball on Facebook says, seriously, I've been a Girl Scout for 40 years. There's so much more to us than cookies. That I agree with.
Where's the money at?
But they don't. Okay, but you can't blame the Girl Scouts for that. You can blame the organization, but not the actual Scouts who are being taught morals, character, self-esteem, different.
Give them some money. Nothing builds your self-esteem like having a nice checking and savings account.
Well,
spread the money out.
Kathy Ann
Where's the money?
Winwood on Facebook says, yes, the Girl Scouts sell cookies. The funds go to supporting those girls who can't afford to attend camp and other such efforts. What do the Boy Scouts do with all the money they make from their popcorn sales, which are way more expensive than cookies?
Have you ever seen Boy Scout popcorn?
To be honest with you, I just bought some.
Okay, honey.
Okay, for the first time.
No, because I was coming out of a grocery store.
Jeff.
It was Friday. It was the first time, and I felt bad on my way out. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, what do you want? I'm like, so you could buy this box of 16. I'm like, no. I'm like, just give me the bag. You know, just how much is the bag? And they're like, $15. And I was like, $15 for a bag of popcorn?
It helps them. See it as a donation.
Well,
no, but
I donated, but then next time I'm gonna run out the back door.
Even if they list themselves as nonprofit,
$15 for popcorn, at least be reasonable. That profit margin's incredible.
Yeah,
and they don't pay their employees, Jeff. How is that possible?
So we have some updating on the election, just so you guys know. Alaska went Republican.
Lake in Minnesota.
If you didn't know, Alaska.
What?
No, so sorry. Alaska just went Republican, and just so you guys know, the Democratic Mike Levin wins the election in the U.S. House in California's 49th congressional. So one Democrat just won, and Alaska just conceded to a Republican. So we are getting balanced. Just giving you updates on the election.
I'm glad you're giving us updates.
Yes.
I do want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law won her seat in Watsonville, California.
Yes,
she ran for the school board and she won. I'm so proud of you, Jennifer Shocker. Way to go. Act local, think global. That's exactly what you're doing, girl. Proud of you.
Always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I do agree with you.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. We are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. Let's get started. And at this moment, we are tracking the latest in the midterm elections. Let's get right to Kelly Schuberth with the latest.
That's right, Sam. The Democrats now control the House, and the Republicans are still in control of the Senate. But we're tracking some key races that still haven't been called. There could be a runoff election in Georgia where the governor's race is still too close to call right now. Polls show Brian Kemp in the lead ahead of Stacey Abrams, but votes are still being counted there. And we're also keeping an eye on Florida's Senate race between Democratic Senator Bill Nelson and Republican Rick Scott. Senator Nelson is asking for a recount right now, while Scott has already declared his victory. I'll keep you updated.
Thank you so much, Kelly. And I do want to give a really quick shout out because we are in the Bay Area. We're in Santa Cruz right now. I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law, Jennifer Shocker. I know you won your seat last night for the midterms for the school board in the Pajaro Valley Unified School District in Watsonville. I'm so proud of you. She always says to act local, think global. That's exactly what you're doing, girl. So congrats.
Wow.
Awesome.
Right.
All right.
You got to get that interview. You get that exclusive interview for us. Come on.
I'm so proud of her. And I love that we're right now in Santa Cruz, California. So
I was going to steal that at some point in the show and get you so mad. I was like, act local, think global.
That would have been bad.
Yeah. Well, oh, we have a picture. We do have a picture, I was told. Let's show the picture.
Oh, yay!
I saw that on your Instagram and read the last name and did not put it together. Oh, you're crying. That's awesome.
I am crying because she's a mom and she's advocating for our students. And you being a former teacher, you know more than anything that we need somebody to advocate for the teachers and for the students, and that's exactly what Jen's mission is. And I'm very proud of you, my love. So congrats.
Congrats.
All right. Woo. Well, actress Olivia Munn says Jamie Foxx gives great advice on Busy Tonight. She's talking about the voicemail the Oscar winner left her. It happened after the party she left because of a guy that was there. Watch Olivia reenact the advice Jamie gave her.
Did you come out here to be somebody's girlfriend? No. Did you come out here to be somebody's wife? No. Did you come out here just to date this guy? No. Did you come out here to be an actress? Yes. Don't you ever, ever let me see you cry about some guy like that ever again. Sweetie, he was just so earnest. He was just like, I never want to see you let any man make you feel that small again.
That is important advice. Have you ever received any dating advice, Al, that's helped you?
I don't know, but I'll give some.
Give it.
I would say don't date seriously until you're where you need to be in your career. Because where we are in this country, you have to work extra hard and extra hours, and I don't feel like there's enough time to juggle both. Either you're going to cheat your career or you're going to cheat the person you're with.
Totally disagree with you, Al.
Really?
Completely. Listen, I can only speak for my industry and the entertainment industry. There was a lot of dark times, and I would not be here today if it wasn't for my husband to remind me why I'm doing it, to uplift me, to empower me. So because of him, I would say I'm here today.
Yeah, and I would agree with Sam on this one. You know, I met my wife Jordan on Big Brother 9 years ago, and I wouldn't have been where I'm at in my career today without her. She had not even crossed the Mississippi before Big Brother before going to California, and then she moved her whole life to LA with me to start a new life.
Jeff, what did the poet Rick Ross say about what to do every day?
What did he say?
Every day I'm hustling. And if you're really hustling, because there's not enough, there's only 24 hours in a day, Sam. There's not enough time. Your competition, while you're at the movies and while you're watching, while having a nice, pleasant dinner with your spouse, your competition is outworking you. And it's unpleasant to think about,
Are you saying
but it is.
24/7 you have to be on your hustle?
Competition is
24/7?
100%.
Well, then I would say that you take 4 steps back when you don't have balance.
Okay, then you won't excel in your career.
And I was in LA 2 different times, one with my wife and one single. And I'll tell you what I did when I was single. I spent a lot of time partying and not hustling. And when I was with my wife, it settled me down, and I spent a lot of time hustling and not partying.
All right, I'm just saying.
Don't try and insinuate that we're not hustlers.
No, you're a mama hustler.
Thank you.
Of course.
I just wanted to hear you say it.
No one ever deny that.
Okay. Well, make sure you stick around because our very own Stephanie Jones is talking with Busy Phillips in today's Chatting with the Stars. You don't want to miss it. And we are getting our very first look right now at Russell Crowe playing Megyn Kelly's former boss, disgraced Fox News chairman and creator Roger Ailes. Production began this week in New York for a new Showtime limited series. And look at this side by side, you guys, of the Oscar winner with the late Fox News chairman. Russell has really transformed himself. They look identical. Roger Ailes exited Fox News following multiple allegations of sexual harassment in 2016. He died last year. Tori, why do you think it was so important for Russell Crowe to nail the physical transformation?
It reminds me of the Marlon Brando when he became the Godfather. They would stick cotton balls up his mouth and they sort of made his face bigger. And as he got bigger, he became sort of a different character. And Roger Ailes literally took Megyn Kelly behind a desk and grabbed at her 3 times until she shoved him away. Sorry for doing that to you. I apologize. And then he said, well, your contract's coming up soon. The physicality of him is intimidating. And for a female or any victim, when you have a bigger guy like that, it means a lot more when it's in your space. So I think it's important to the story to show that that's a major character trait of Roger. He used that as
an intimidation tactic.
Absolutely.
Do you think, like, I know they just started filming and they have the script right now, but do you think they're going to try to update the script at all with Megyn Kelly or anything like that?
I think it's a separate story. I really do. I think this story is more about Roger Ailes than Megyn Kelly, and it's more about women versus Republican Democrats, I think.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, get your wallets ready. Oprah's favorite things for this holiday season are here. Take a look.
It's not just about what you give, but it's about the spirit. Look at that. In which you give it. So I would give this to all my girlfriends. So let's get started for Favorite Things 2018.
Oprah, this has us asking if a celebrity endorses something, does it make you want to buy it more? Well, head to dblvote.com and let us know what you think. Al, when a celebrity tells you to buy something, are you more inclined to buy it?
You know what, this is going to sound strange, but I think so. Nowadays, I think so. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Sam. Think about the celebrity endorsements that we've seen. Puffy has had an incredible vodka. I know a lot of people that subscribe to Snoop Dogg's Hims box that comes every month. There is a pressure on celebrities, the Kardashians. Rihanna's line is supposed to be really good. Fenty, girls love, people love it. And the reason is, as I think that celebrities know if they put out some garbage, unlike, you know, days past, you're going to hear about it on the internet. You're going to have to answer about it in interviews. So they make sure whatever they attach their name to is going to be quality. And we would not be sitting here if it wasn't for the Foreman Grill. That got me through college. I'm just saying.
Every product is endorsed. There's not one product that doesn't have an endorsement. It's a whole business.
It's the easiest way to get eyeballs because you get right onto their Instagram. It costs less, no overhead. Just so you guys know, Spanx, Kindle, Carol's Daughter, the makeup line, Garrett Popcorn, the iPad, and UGG boots all endorsed, unknown before Oprah. She endorsed all of those, and they went to $million to billion. So
the Oprah effect is real, and it looks like 55% say no way. They don't care to. No, they're not more likely to buy it.
I think you're being subliminally.
I think. What was it?
Subliminally tricked.
Okay. Yes.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
You said it perfectly.
Okay.
Jeff, I got your back.
After 50 years in show business, actor Michael Douglas got his star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Stephanie has a story coming in hot.
That's right, the 74-year-old actor unveiled his star yesterday while surrounded by his star-studded family. His famous father, 101-year-old Kirk Douglas, and his wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, were also there. And get this, Kirk's star is now just a few feet away from his sons. So talk about talent that runs in the family. And Douglas also joked it was about time he got his star after 5 decades in the movie business. And I'm going to be sitting down with Michael Douglas tomorrow for an interview. So I'll be bringing you that next week. So stay tuned to DBL.
Oh, I can't wait, Steph. Thank you so much. Coming up on DBL, our very own Stephanie Jones gets crafty with TV host Busy Phillips. Making Christmas ornaments has never been this fun. Then talk about a boring commute. You won't believe what kind of animal ran right into a guy on his daily walk. The video is crazy. But first, we think we've stumbled on the fountain of youth. Tori shows us a revolutionary treatment that could take 10 years off your face.
You are.
Hey DVL Nation, it's Lex and Tori's on her way.
Wait, hold on. Look how cute this is, this part.
Oh, the stripe?
Yeah, that looks so sporty.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome. All right, anyway, trending right now, already Christmas.
Oh boy.
Yep, and we're hearing the top hacks on,
Sorry, that was cute. Top hacks
on what to do during the holidays.
Nice.
So this is coming from popsugar.com right now, and I just want to give a huge shout out to my mom because the #1 thing on this list, my mom has been doing for years. So thanks, Mom.
What is it?
And the number
Carmen!
Carmen
Pickett, tell us.
The #1 trick is color coding your wrapping paper. So you ditch the tags.
Ditch the tags.
Ditch the tags.
Get
the
in with the color.
And you put colors, and then
Tori's yellow, my sister's orange.
Yep.
People know what colors are. I
we
don't
do
need
it
to
with
explain
patterns,
this.
different patterns, or someone just gets bags. So I think this is a great tip, great hack. And for more, you can go on to popsugar.com. There's a whole list of
fantastic
of hacks of what you can do for the holidays. One of them is shoveling with like cooking spray.
Oh, so
that
the snow doesn't stick on the shovel. You put Pam on the shovel face so that it slides right off. It's a really smart trick.
Keep that in mind when I
the other one is if you have extra wine, red and white, after a party, let's say you have some booze, go ahead and not dump it or drink it like I tried. Put it in your ice cube trays with some herbs and garlic. Freeze it. Next time you want spaghetti with red wine sauce, ba-bam, put the ice cube in. It melts with the pasta.
DVL Nation, write us in if you guys have any hacks like this. Very cool. I like that red wine hack. And then the second story that I have trending for you guys is crystals. Are you into like healing or energy crystals?
I hope that people who believe, I believe that they believe. I don't necessarily always believe.
DVL Nation, right?
I believe they believe.
Write us in if you believe. Do you believe?
Do you believe? You believe they believe.
Look, I think I'm with you. I hope that if people are using the healing or energy crystals that they believe in it and that it's helping them. I think that's great.
right.
The new trick is that people are using it as centerpieces. So to energize their home and the aura around
I believe in that.
living. I think it's a good idea.
I believe in good decor.
Yeah.
And this racing stripe.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Beauty Blast, we're turning the clock back on our skin, way back. Check out this miracle makeover Tori Schulman discovered.
I found the fountain of youth. Well, it might not be the fountain of youth, but I'm here at Angel Aesthetics with the skincare guru, Angel Renee, who really can make you look 10 years younger. Ow. Ow. Angel? Is it really possible to turn back the clock on our skin?
It actually is. So with my Mile High Makeover, oftentimes someone who's like 30, 40,
I'm erasing a good 10 years of skin. Our gal that we're doing, she has lots of damage. So she's gonna have a lot of what I call lifting, and those brown spots are gonna get significantly darker, and they're gonna slough off.
Tell us, Caitlin, why you specifically wanted the Mile High makeover.
My skin has always been just something that I've never been super happy with.
Yeah.
But I just kind of took it to my skin. That's just how it is.
Angel's coveted Mile High makeover consists of the following steps. Step 1, numbing cream is applied. Step 2, Angel cleanses and preps the skin with acetone. Step 3, time for the good stuff. Angel performs a top secret combination treatment. All we can say is that it involves a laser.
You want to say the B word, don't you?
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna come in and hold her hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. This is what a true friend does right here. This is friendship right here.
Step 4, rest for 7 days. During this time, the skin will start to slough off as it turns over. Step 5, back to see Angel to finish off the makeover.
So far, I'm so impressed with her after result. I mean, she's a little pink because she has all that new skin. She had lots and lots of lifting, and all that has come off, so whatever is remaining, I'm gonna dermaplane. Dermaplane removes the dead skin and vellus hair. It takes off all the peach fuzz, all the dead skin, and doesn't leave you pink and blotchy. So in a week, that's not gonna be so pink.
Take a look.
So the biggest myth for dermaplane is if I shave my face, will my hair grow back thicker? And that's a good old wives' tale, because bald men would have a full head of hair.
All right, guys, we're about to see the reveal. Come on out! You look amazing! Oh my God! How do you feel about yourself? Because that's really the most important, obviously.
It's just great. Like, I can't even like hold a smile. You know, you just look in the face and you just smile. Like, I don't even know. It's just, it really has changed a lot of things. So.
Wow.
Unbelievable. So Tori, what if people don't live in Denver? They can't just go to an Angel Aesthetics. What can they do in their city?
So the #1 thing Angel recommends is dermaplane, and all you have to do is Google it with your zip code. It'll come up on Yelp who does it. It's that scalpel thing you saw where it took the hair off, the dead skin. It's better than a facial. She says once a month, twice a month, you're good to go.
And it's not that expensive.
No, and it takes, the makeup goes on a lot easier. Your serums work faster. It just gets to the epidermis faster.
I'm getting one tomorrow. I had it booked for like 3
You need it, buddy.
months.
I was worried.
Exciting. Well, be sure to tune in tomorrow because Angel will be sharing her tips on how to look younger and save money at the same time. She'll be sharing the best buys from your local drugstore. You do not want to miss that. Well, we are live. Let's get right to Raquel Villanueva. She has news at the moment.
That's right, Sam. Trending right now, a Breaking Bad movie is in the works 5 years after the hit TV series ended, but the details surrounding the film are still a bit of a mystery. It's rumored to be called Greenbrier and will start production in a couple weeks. Series creator Vince Gilligan is working on the project, which is set to be a 2-hour movie. No word yet if it's going to be in theaters or your television screen, but I'll keep you posted.
Thank you so much, Raquel. Can't wait. Coming up on DBL, a wild tumble. Caught on camera, you guys will never guess what creature ran right into a guy on his regular morning commute. And who knew making Christmas ornaments could be so much fun? Busy Phillips teaches our very own Stephanie Jones a thing or two about crafting.
If you are in the Denver area or Colorado, or people have traveled in from like California, from other countries to see Angel, her name is Angel Aesthetics, and you can look it up. She's moved to Cherry Creek here in Denver, but you can also, she does see out of town people, and she sets some people up. So look at Angel Aesthetics on Instagram as well, Miss Angel
And she's
Renee.
really talented, not only in facials and dermaplane and laser treatments, but also Botox, fillers. So anything that you might be considering, Angel's your
You could
girl.
look like Sam and Tori.
And
I was very glad you added Aunt Tori.
But that's the same woman. I don't know how long you guys been watching Daily Blast Live, but that's the same place me and Al went to get our skin care done.
When you wore those short robes.
Right. So
They
I was
were
the same.
almost uncomfortable for everyone.
They didn't catch. We hit a couple bad angles.
And just so you guys know, tomorrow we went to a Walgreens, and she took me through the drugstore and what you
give
can
us a
buy.
little hint?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
The wipes that we all use to wipe off our makeup.
I do it every night.
She wiped it right out of my hand. She says,
What?
you should wipe your bleep with that.
Oh no.
What should we use?
She said, what you're doing
Wash your face.
is you're just rubbing the makeup around. I'm so sorry. Around and around and around. You're not really getting it off of your skin.
Well, when I'm done, it says differently.
Well, she says a lot of it stays on your skin.
You gotta rinse it
so
off.
she suggests
You should
certain
still wash
things.
your face.
I don't do that.
I don't either at night.
That's the
A
problem.
lot of
wash your
women don't,
face?
right?
Yeah.
When I shower, but I don't. I usually shower in the
After
morning.
you do the
So
wipe.
you
I did too, but
Yeah.
Jure told me to wash my face and put like stuff on.
Do it again. Show it again.
By the way, I need to read.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, we're catching up with social media powerhouse Busy Phillips. With more than 1 million followers on Instagram, she's an actress, New York Times bestselling author, and now talk show host.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in. And
say it again. This is my Oprah moment. Say that again.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in, you guys. That was our Oprah moment today. Yes, Vanessa Hudgens, yes.
And as if she doesn't have enough on her plate already, Busy is also the ultimate crafting queen. So with the holiday season right around the corner, I asked her to teach me to give me a lesson on how to make some ornaments. Take a look at this. I'm joined by Busy Phillips. Hello.
Hi, so nice to see you.
So nice to
Stephanie.
see you.
I partner with Michaels because I'm obsessed with crafting. I have 2 little girls and we do lots of making in our household and especially around the holidays.
Okay, so today we're focusing on Christmas decorations, right?
Yeah.
I'm like just hoping for a glitter ball kind of thing going on over here, but
It looks really good.
I'm just mixing and matching everything right now.
I think it looks great. It looks like a little snowfall.
So what is the favorite ornament on your tree? So when it gets to Christmas, what's the #1 thing you're going to be putting on your tree?
Oh, wow. Well, I love all the ones that my girls have made over the years. And then my mom saved all the ornaments that my sister and I made over the years, so I have mine.
I love how you've bossed one out already.
Yeah, I'm fast,
You're
girl.
on it.
I'm on it.
She's on it.
There's my little puffball ornament.
It's amazing.
It's cute.
And what other
my girls
what
would
other,
love
like,
that.
What are your like family traditions? So what do you do with Birdie and Cricket? Like what's your at-home Christmas family time thing?
Well, there's lots of baking around the holidays.
Ooh,
Of
okay.
course. I like to make like lemon bars. I've always loved making lemon bars since I was a kid.
Lemon bars?
Yeah.
That sounds tricky.
It's not that tricky, but I don't know if that's a traditional Christmas cookie, but it is in my house.
This is going everywhere,
No, but that's the point. Like, it's fun. It can be messy. You can get it all over the place. Like, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna put a little bit of pom-pom. I'm just literally going all out with mine. This is like the ultimate ball of like anything goes.
I really like it. Crafting and making things is something that we do as a family.
I'm gonna make one for the show, a Daily Blast.
Oh, that's a great idea.
They're gonna love this. They better put it up in the studio.
Okay, I have to say, I think this is super cute.
That's really good. Right, I'm not gonna lie, I completely stole Busy's inspiration. There was no original creativity.
That's okay.
Okay, this was my original creativity right here, and then I just copied the good stuff.
But these look
by the pro.
cute. We've got little matching ones.
You would think you two are best friends, Steph.
You know what? She is the ultimate girly babe. I completely fell in love with her and all her glittery baubles. She was amazing.
And I will say, I know you weren't proud of your glitter ornament, but I loved it. It felt very festive.
Thank you. You know what? I just went all out. I just saw, I saw the sparkles and I saw the sequins and something just came over me inside and I was like filling it with everything and it turned into a big explosion of glitter. But you know what? I thought it was cute.
The more glitter, the better.
Did you keep your ornaments? Did you bring them back?
Yeah, of course I did. I've got them in my house. Are you joking, Jeff? I'm not going to leave those.
But
They're like 1 in a million.
She just doesn't have her tree up yet like you do.
Yeah, I do, and I was going to put it on there.
Excuse Jeff for being happy.
Yeah. I get an extra month.
Early.
I get an extra month of happiness a year. What am I going to say?
Wait till after Thanksgiving. Coming up on DBL, find out what creature came running after a man on his commute. Ouch. We'll be right back.
Tori's looking at comments.
Let him come say.
We have a lot of people going back to the teacher story. Seriously, I have been. Oh, that one's okay. That one I shouldn't read on air.
I'm looking at Sam's glittery lotion.
It's so mesmerizing.
This is Fenty.
Mesmerizing, because then I have to go sit there.
This is
You bought a product endorsed by a celebrity, Sam?
I have no problem with products endorsed by celebrity. I
Everyone
was shocked
buys
by
products
your
endorsed by celebrity.
answer because last hour you said that you would never wear a pair of LeBron shoes if LeBron tried to sell them.
It's not that I wouldn't wear them. I wouldn't wear them expecting them to be any kind of.
Well,
there be
obviously,
any kind of,
what, you're going to turn into an NBA
you don't
player?
think that, like when the Kardashians sell a product, they're like, you can look more like me?
Okay, so if
that's not the
Makeup's
underlying
different.
message?
Makeup's different.
If that suit was made by the legendary Jim Brown from Cleveland, and you had the exact same suit, the exact same price that it was made by Bill Phillips, which one would you buy?
Oh, well, I'd buy Jim Brown.
Yeah, of course, so that's influence.
Yeah, I mean, but if it's the exact same price, but if it was $100.
Bill Phillips suits are pretty
Bill
sweet,
Phillips,
though.
who was a nice guy, by the way.
Bill Phillips.
If it was $100.
We just did Busy Phillips.
Bill Phillips of the Poughkeepsie Phillips.
But yeah, but that's the thing. That would never happen because the celebrity endorsement would jack the
Busy's
price up.
brother.
So you are paying for that
See,
price.
like, maybe for me, like, at least Oprah finds things I haven't found yet that I'm too busy to find. Her staff, not Oprah. Like, when she found Ugg boots, they were like, everybody within a week, it went to 700 million within 2 years. I find that she researches it so I don't have to.
You need somebody to help you find boots?
Uggs are terrible to sheep and lambs.
They are?
Google how they treat, yes. Do not wear them. They're super unethical.
Isn't it kind of...
Yeah,
Isn't it kind of played, the Uggs look?
Oh, it's terribly
You can buy faux ones called Pammies.
Pammies?
You're talking to us
From Pamela Anderson.
But
Yes,
you know
sorry,
what I
go
mean?
ahead.
Like,
They're played.
hey, look, I got my Lulus on with my Uggs.
They're played.
Get out of
Okay.
here.
They're played.
And I'm going to go to the Grove.
Great.
And get my kombucha.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so tired
And
of
my tofu was salty, so it made my
It
kale
is.
more salty. And my audition was late. It's an LA person. My manager never calls back.
But the thing is, it's true.
Oh, it is so true. Yeah.
I didn't hear anything. What did they
Got
say?
it.
Do I need to know anything?
Got it.
Cool.
Yes.
That's how I like to do things.
Welcome back to DBL. A man in Japan's morning commute was anything but boring after a wild boar attacked him in the street. Watch as the animal darts out of an alley while the man walks by swinging his briefcase. The boar rams the man in the knees, knocks him off his feet. Luckily, 2 people driving by honked their horns, scared the boar
Notice
away.
they didn't get out.
The man did have to go to the hospital, but he is expected to be okay. Yeah, why wouldn't they get out of the car?
Because there's a wild boar out there. Yeah, no, I don't. You know, I know you're pro animals, but some animals are jerks.
Well, first
Boars
of all,
are,
Al,
that boar knew what it was doing. It continually went after that man.
how do you know that boar maybe once had a home in that city and then it's just being built upon and built upon and built upon?
It looked like the
Has
city's
nowhere to
pretty
go.
developed. The city's been there for a while.
That's an old boar.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they weren't out near the creek.
Well, you don't know that.
There's an industrial area.
You don't know if there is.
That was his area.
You don't know if there isn't a creek 200 feet away. You don't know that, Al.
Okay, that's right.
Tori, you have comments?
I sure do. Let's get you out of that one. All right, Rebecca Brand, this is about Trump and Jim Acosta. You guys were split down the middle. He was called on to ask a question. He didn't even get to finish that question before Trump got defensive. Naomi, though, says even after several times President Trump tried to nicely move on to the next reporters, it's not all Trump's fault from what I watched directly. Hugh Behan says media has become more divisive than politicians and exceedingly using confrontational tactics in their questions. And finally, Lyric Stokes, as a president, he should do better, period. So a lot of back and forth on this.
All right, well, thank you for that. Ooh. Wow, it was pretty polarizing. Well, DBL may be signing off in your city, but we are continuing our live coverage online. So join us on your favorite social media platform for more of today's trending news. The conversation never stops, neither do we. We hope you guys have a great day. Join us here tomorrow, same time, same place. Thank you, everybody, for your DBL take. Bye.
Let's do this.
What's up, Boo?
All right.
What was your first road trip?
My first road trip, I think, would technically be driving to college.
Nice.
Cleveland to Jackson, Mississippi.
Whoa.
That would be I-71, and you take 71 and then I-55.
I went on a road trip to protest the Bush inauguration.
There we go.
8 hours from Michigan in a van, and I wanted to be on the real world so bad that I pretended there were like cameras in, much like this car right now. And I was like, oh, I'll drive, and I acted like I was on the real world and pretended to be like cool, and I definitely almost hit something, and there were like several people in the car. So I learned my lesson.
Did someone say road trip? Before you channel your inner pioneer and put rubber to the pavement, make sure you have these road trip essentials. Entertainment. Whether it's music or stand-up comedy, just make sure everything is playable without cell service. Roadside emergency kit. This includes jumper cables, flashlight, and a gas can. A game plan. This may seem obvious, but having a plan of action eliminates time, stress, and wasted gas. And lastly, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield specializes in shielding their members from the high cost of auto repairs and allows you to drive with absolute peace of mind. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. That number again is 1-800-505-9619. Call right now.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You can't control yourself? That is embarrassing.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Wednesday, November 7th. We are the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. And right now, I'm here with Erica, Tori, and Al. I'm Jeff. A lot to get to, guys. Let's get to it. We've got big stories to get to today, like this new skincare regimen you have to see to believe. It'll make you look 10 years younger. And your first look at Oprah's favorite things for the holiday season. All of that in just moments. But first, President Trump just wrapped up a press conference after last night's historic midterms. But everyone is talking about his heated exchange with CNN's Jim Acosta. Watch.
They're hundreds of miles away, though. They're hundreds and hundreds of miles away. That's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question, Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President,
that's
I was going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation?
Mr. President.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN. Go ahead.
I think that's unfair.
You're a very rude person. The way you treat Sarah Huckabee is horrible. And the way you treat other people are horrible. You shouldn't treat people that way. Go ahead. Go ahead, Peter. Go ahead.
In Jim's defense, I've traveled with him and watched him. He's a diligent reporter who busts his butt.
Well, I'm not
like
a big
the rest
fan
of
of yours either. So
I understand.
And you heard it there at the end of that clip. NBC's Peter Alexander even stepped in defending his competition, Jim Acosta. Here's a statement from CNN. It says, in part, the president's ongoing attacks on the press have gone too far. They're not only dangerous, they are disturbingly un-American. We stand behind Jim Acosta and his fellow journalists everywhere. So, we've been talking about this story all day, and it's been very torn, even with our DBL Nation, even in studio here. And I think both sides are accountable here, Al. I think both sides need to be accountable. I think the CNN guy went a little bit too far, and I think Trump needs to handle the press a little bit better.
Well, Trump, I don't think CNN's followers respond the same way Trump's followers do. I mean, we have, there is definitely a war on the media. We saw 4 journalists slain by a man that went into a newsroom and shot that up. We have a dismembered American journalist that happened over in Saudi Arabia, a country where there's a WWE event taking place this week. There's been no sanctions against that country, as far as I know, up until this point about the slaughter of an American journalist. His rhetoric, his lack of accountability for what happened in Charlottesville with the Jews will not replace us. We now have 11 dead Jewish worshipers at a synagogue. His words do translate to action. And something that Jim Acosta says and something Trump could say are not in the same universe. And I think us giving that false equivalency, we're really doing everybody a disservice.
So does that mean they could treat him any way they want now, just because of all those things?
I think it was a fair question. Most of the Republican attack ads were saying there's a caravan invading our country. And he said, can we say, will you say that this caravan is on foot and hundreds of miles away and they won't be here for several months? That's all. That was the only question, and he did not answer it.
Well, he answered. He said, let me do my job and you do your job. He did answer, but the CNN guy kept going. What did you see on this?
I think this is beneath me. And I feel like every self-respecting American should feel the same way. We used to go to this bar, remember Hamilton's in Chicago about 15 years ago, and this sounds like an argument but right before they started playing Jack and Diane. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't have anything to say about it.
I'm actually on a little bit more on your side on this, which is hard to even hear myself say. It's hard to swallow. But I did, and I like Jim Acosta, and I like that he has a follow-up question. That's what you do. But in the press pool in D.C., you ask a question, you do a follow-up, you try to get in, and then if they say move, you move. And at some point, he kept asking. You can't have chaos in the press pool. So at this point, did I think Trump was rude and if there is a war in the media? Yes. Did I think Acosta crossed the line? Yes. We all look bad in terms of
I think we all need to get better.
I think the question, he crossed the line?
Yeah, I think he asked and asked and asked, and Trump said, okay, move on. At that point, after the third time.
Do you want to establish a precedent that the American president doesn't have to answer a question he doesn't want to answer?
Because that's a lot of times in politics.
But then that goes against the First Amendment. I thought that everybody was so hopped up about the amendment.
He has a right to say the questions and get it out there, and it's out there as a statement, and he can try and diverge.
So from now on, you're saying that we can have press conferences where he's asked a question and he just says move on until we get that. He answered.
No, he did answer it.
What did he say?
He said, let me do my job and you do your job.
That had nothing to do with the caravan.
Yeah, but you don't, as a president, you don't need to answer every single question with like a Q&A. Like he could answer any way he wants to answer. He could take whoever's questions he wants to take, right?
I don't think so.
Isn't that his freedom too?
He's a public employee. He works for us, Jeff. He has a responsibility to explain things to us. When we're saying, tell us about this caravan that you're putting millions of dollars into advertising.
But it's not the Jim Acosta press pool. It's the entire press pool. So
I think a lot of Americans want to know about this killer caravan that's coming.
I hear that, and I think you're right. But I do think Jim Acosta crossed the line in terms of the manners in the press pool.
All right, we got to agree to disagree on this one. But like I said, tough topic.
Yeah.
We are live. Kelly Schubers, save us with some news at the moment here.
Yeah, just in, Attorney General Jeff Sessions has just submitted his resignation to President Trump. He submitted his resignation in a letter, but he may have actually been fired because he says he's resigning at the president's request. President Trump just tweeted saying Sessions' Chief of Staff, Matthew Whitaker, will become the acting Attorney General. I'll keep you updated on this developing story.
All right, thank you very much, Kelly. All right, it was a night of historic firsts, and today we're celebrating as the so-called pink wave swept the nation with results. Still coming in, more than 100 women are projected to win seats in the House, shattering the former record. Several women won for governor. Here are some of them, and among those women celebrating historic first, Sharice Davids and Deb Haaland will become the first Native American women elected to Congress. Davids won in Kansas and also openly lesbian. Haaland won in New Mexico. For the first time, 2 Muslim women won. Rashida Tlaib in Michigan and Ilhan Omar, a Somali American, won in Minnesota. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez became the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. She's a 29-year-old Latina representing New York. And here in Colorado, Jared Polis became the first openly gay governor in U.S. history. So a lot of firsts. I think this is good. I mean, we were divided on the last one. Maybe we can or cannot all agree on this. A lot of firsts, and I think this is good for our country.
Yeah, and people running, even running is a good thing to see. Over 100 women winning and running. You see people are gay, people are transgender, Native American. As long as your country is represented with people that look like the country you are, it's a good step in the right direction.
Erica, as a woman of color, what did this mean to you?
You know, obviously we know that representation matters, and the fact that so many people have felt silence for so long, that there is zero representation for them. When we look at the media, when we look at our government, it's very difficult to know who's for you and who's against you when no one looks like you. Ultimately, I think that we really saw this coming. It was an activation right after the election. We had the women's marches across the country, and people started to think about how do I get into politics? And women started to let their voices be heard. And this is going to be something that is just a small piece of a bigger puzzle, because this movement's real and it's coming. It's what happens when you're oppressed and suppressed for so long. Your teeth get sharpened. And then when you come out to fight, your teeth are just a little sharper than the next guy's.
All right, I like that. Switching gears, guys, right now we have some TV gossip news that is just too juicy not to talk about. Former NBC talk show host Megyn Kelly is reaching out to another disgraced host, Matt Lauer. This is a true story, to talk about teaming up for a new morning show together. That's according to New York gossip columnist and podcast host Rob Shooter. Megyn, of course, lost her 9 a.m. talk show after making a controversial remark about blackface, and Matt Lauer was fired from his Today Show gig following a string of sexual harassment allegations. But one thing both of these hosts have in common, the Today Show had a ratings bump after they were ousted. But would these two really team up, or is this just gossip? There's no way this could be true. No. They're not going to pay them both millions of dollars again to appear back on TV.
I don't know if where the fan base would be coming from either of these people. I don't know if people are clamoring to hear what Matt Lauer has to say anyway. But I did read, Jeff, that this is confirmed, and the show's going to be called The Disc Racists.
Good button there, Al. This show is live, and we bring you breaking
thank you for the silence throughout the room. Daily Blast Live Wake is in full effect.
I laugh.
Coming up, a miracle skin treatment you need to see to believe. Tori discovers why it'll take you a decade. It'll take a decade off your face. Plus, DBL goes one-on-one with Oscar winner Monique. Hear her inspiring message next. And you, the viewer, are the fifth host. The community is gathering thousands of dollars to support a teacher arrested for fighting an unruly student. And you're fired up with comments next.
I was reading right behind him. First of all, Jeff reading all those names, fantastic.
I was nervous about it.
I know, but you did really.
There were some hard names.
There's some new names too. Name recognition is so easy once you get to know it. So it's new names, and I can't believe a lesbian Native American MMA fighter from Kansas won. That is like, you can't even write that.
Do you want to talk a little bit about who's my new favorite politician now? Crenshaw?
Let me guess, is it
Crenshaw?
Crenshaw?
Crenshaw, what's his first name?
Dan.
Dude, I really like that guy.
Navy SEAL, major.
I like his message. Yeah. I like the way he handled the
He's
Pete
over
Davidson
it.
thing.
He's over it. He doesn't need to go in the swamp and do all the fighting. He's just like, let's rise above
He's
it.
done the real fighting.
Yes.
He doesn't do fighting on
He's
these
a Navy
days.
SEAL.
He's done the real fighting. So
I don't know. Something about that guy. I mean.
You trust him.
I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's been there. He's done that.
And he won, if you guys didn't know. He won his race.
He doesn't need to fight the pity fight.
Right, exactly.
Or petty fight, I mean. So, I don't know. Just something stands out with that guy, just the way he handled the whole thing on SNL. Now he won. Now his comments after he won.
And Tammy Duckworth actually wrote in, I spoke about her. She is a Democrat senator who lost both legs as a helicopter, a Black Hawk helicopter came crashing down in Afghanistan. She was the pilot and lost both legs. She is in a wheelchair, and she stood up for Crenshaw and said there's no way you should make fun of a war veteran. I had referenced Tammy Duckworth as a perfect example. Is you don't make fun of her for having no legs. How dare you make fun of someone for losing their eye?
She was shot down. She was given the Purple Heart, the Medal of Valor. I mean, she is a real-life war hero. I believe also, Kabi, back me up, did she not also breastfeed in
She gave birth. Like, wasn't
she brought her baby
She's
into
the first to give birth in office, I think, a senator.
That's
And she was like 50, wasn't she?
She is a legitimate hero.
She's a boss.
I believe her family is either Thai or Filipino. Her mom is, and her dad was involved in the military. So, but
I just like hearing people that have been out there. Yeah. You know, it's easy to stand here and judge what war is like. I don't know what war is
Or
like.
talk about petty stuff with the microphone, and then you see what they've lost. You know what I mean? We're talking about what the reporter should have done. These guys have been where the real
I don't know.
fight
It's just something about him. And talk about first. This is the first time I've ever said anything that I'm excited about a politician.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
With the guise of Magic Mike. See what happens when they ask her to join the show. Then we have some must-see skincare tips that'll have you looking younger and feeling better. Find out which products are the best and worst to buy. That's tomorrow.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Community members have raised more than $90,000 for the Los Angeles teacher arrested for punching a student. The incident was caught on camera. We want to warn you, it's pretty insane. All right. As you see right there, this is the video that went viral, and here's why people are railing behind the teacher. Watch as the student provokes him. You see that first by throwing a basketball. Then he calls the teacher the N-word. Now some of the teacher's supporters say he was set up. DBL Nation, does this teacher deserve support? This one's heated too, Erica.
Yeah, Lorraine from Facebook says, I don't condone what this teacher did. He should have had much more self-control. The teacher did what the punk wanted him to do, create an opportunity for him to become the victim. I agree with you, but I also understand extenuating circumstances. Never is it appropriate for anyone to put their hands on anyone, but we also need to get some resources and some fail stops for our teachers.
Amen.
As a daughter of a whole family of educators, I can tell you about the absolutely imminent and present danger that even my mother, who was 6 months pregnant, had to endure at the time of her pregnancy because there's no one to come in and help her with unruly, violent children. And when it comes to the parents coming in, that's a whole nother stop, because if you want to talk about what's happening with your child and they don't want to hear it and they get violent with you too, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Erica, for 5 years, I sat with parent-teacher conferences, and at 6 o'clock in the morning, I have parents across from me like, well, Erica says she's not talking in class. I'm like, yeah, that's her job to say she's not, but you have 6 other adult teachers saying she is. But the parents, it's like, well, I don't know who to believe. We're in a weird place in society in terms of where we look at our teachers and like the respect they're given, even from their parents, and the kids are going to get that respect from how much respect their parents give. Okay, Vicky on Facebook says, unless you've walked in a teacher's shoes, you cannot pass judgment. I retired after 40 years, and my students knew if they touched me, it would be on and popping. I already love you, Vicky. Kids can get away with assaults, but teachers can't defend themselves.
What a great question for you.
Vicky, I love you. You did 35 more years than I did. I taught for 5 years. I really respect what you did, and we all thank you here at DBL. I think it's easy to sit here and look at that video and take pot shots about what you would have done and what you. And Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the face. It's like you can sit here and pontificate about what you would do, but you don't know what it's like to have a student constantly goad you, attack you, disrespect you, physically disrespect you, and put their hands on you, and then finally one day you snap. Everybody has a threshold. Teachers are human beings, and the kids need to be held accountable as well.
All right, thanks, guys. We are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Today is the last day to vote for Tori to win the Neil Patrick Harris Charity Dance Challenge, and she's only a few votes away from the top spot, but we need your help. First, watch her video.
DBL video is coming to Neil Patrick Harris. Let's go, Tori.
Okay. She has to stretch. Don't hurt yourself now.
Here we go.
Be careful, girl. You're wearing a dress.
Channel your inner Lindsay.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Work the camera a little more.
Yeah.
If Tori wins, Neil Patrick Harris will donate to St. Jude, so head on over to the Duple app or duple.com and vote.
I even voted. I voted for Tori.
I'm getting Tori over the hump.
I put it over.
All right.
Where's my sticker?
High five.
All right.
Yeah.
Daily Blast Live is a live show, and we cover breaking news as it happens, so keep it right here. Oprah unveils her latest list of favorite things. We'll show you some of the coolest items coming up. And Oscar winner Monique chats with DBL. Her encouraging message for all women will inspire you.
21st, 22nd. It's Thursday, Friday.
So the
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The 22nd.
What's going on? What's going on then?
We have off for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Figuring out the
By the way, Raquel is looking beautiful as always. I just want my hair to do what Raquel's does in that bun. Isn't that bun so cute?
Where is she?
Raquel, can you come here? How did you do that bun? Oh, she looks. They won't let me do the bun, everyone. They think.
I don't know if you could do the bun.
Why can't I pull off the bun? Look how I can do the bun. And did you have a thing? Like, just get in here, John. How did you put that down? Is this all your hair?
It's all my hair.
And you
But
didn't
there's
have
a
the
thing.
Yeah, there's a thing in there, right?
I put up a hair tie and then I bobby pinned my
you
hair.
didn't
But
do the little
there's a
scrunchie.
thing I saw like on like QVC
Me
or
too,
something.
where you can make the bun.
I'm not that fancy.
It's like you go like this and you pull it out and it's a bun or something.
Yes.
Don't ask me why.
No,
I know
this
You guys-
is the most rudimentary bun.
Okay, so yay or nay if you think we can pull it off. I think I can pull it off.
I think Jeff can pull it off too.
that. Man bun?
Man bun.
We
Oh
did
God,
man
I would. Oh God. If you had a man
still a
bun.
thing.
Yeah, man bun.
They never died.
Are you for a man bun?
No,
I'm not either.
honestly.
I'm really not.
I tried.
I'm not.
I tried to get into it.
Good for you if you have one. I'm just.
Yeah.
You're fitting
All right.
like 10 people.
Okay.
I'm gonna get my bun out.
I don't think man bun watch it. If you have a man bun, you're
Write
watching
in.
this right now, please write in. We'll give you a shout out on air.
That's true. We will.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. Oscar-winning actress and comedian Monique is on a mission to spread positivity for plus-size women in Hollywood. She also has an inspiring message for all women. Our own Tori Shulman chatted with her and her husband, Sydney, yesterday. Check it out.
All right, so my family, a lot of them are plus size. I am not a size 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever. But where do you think the entertainment industry stands now when it comes to being inclusive to women of all sizes? Have we made progress? What do you guys feel?
Big women are not looked at in Hollywood standards as beautiful, as sexy. So when we see it, we celebrate it because it's like unique thing that happens every once in so many years where they say, see, let the big girl get a little love too. The average size woman in this country is a 14.
You have a platform. People do look to you. I know people personally that look up to you. What message do you have for plus size women that are actually acting or directing or in the entertainment industry? You went through it, you succeeded. What do you want to say to them right now, our DBL Nation?
What I'll say to all women is be unafraid to be who you are. Be unapologetic about who you are. May you be a 2, a 22, a 32, a 42, because the moment we keep separating it is why this country is in the position it's in right now, because everything is separated. Small woman, plus size woman, black woman, white man, black. We're separating everything.
So I can actually look at the screen and see someone that represents me. That's amazing.
So when it becomes a bit more diverse, though you may not be affected by it, we need to begin to start speaking that truth to the powers that be, because that will be representative of the world that we live in at large, as opposed to the world that the people in charge want you to see.
Great job, Tori. Monique and her husband also have their own podcast. If you want to check it out, it's called Monique and Sydney's Open Relationship. The couple says it's all about having real and honest conversations with each other. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, actress and TV host Busy Phillips shows our own Stephanie Jones DIY Christmas ornaments. Exciting. And they're super easy and fun to make. And later, Jamie Foxx's words of wisdom will reveal the A-list star he helped get over a bad dating situation.
Guys, it's Sadie's here from Daily Blast Alive at Digital Team. Tori joining me. Obviously, I have to block my screen.
I can't read
when
fast.
I tell Tori stories because she will know it before I even break it.
All right, hit me. You have great stories.
Brace yourself.
Okay.
Are you mentally prepared?
Now, wait. Now I am.
November 17th is a big day. You want to know why?
Why?
Kylie Cosmetics are coming to Ulta.
Why
We're
are-
talking steals. Instead of paying maybe thousands of dollars that you would pay for Kylie stuff.
The lip kits?
The lip kits.
Yeah.
She says she's going to take it slow and
Good
then
for
kind
her.
of build it up from there.
Good
but
for her.
Ulta has great deals, and we're talking Thanksgiving time. So you know what November 17th is? Black Friday. So that means those lip kits that you guys want, those voluptuous lips, you'll be able to get those for probably close to half the price
That's
of what it normally
awesome.
is. So I'm actually pro Kylie for this because I would rather catch her stuff on a deal
For sure.
than regular price.
For sure. And Ulta does, if you guys also look at Retail Me Not or other products, and you can look up promo codes, Ulta has a ton of promo codes, which is great. I always get like 20% off.
Yeah, the girls are definitely going crazy for this. Again, it's like getting your MAC makeup or whatever makeup brand that you
half
might
off.
use for half off. So it's definitely a steal with that. A lot of tweets are coming in for it, saying that I'm starting off with my best lip kits, and from there we'll expand so many more amazing things fast. Can't wait.
Wow.
It's like her empire keeps growing and growing to the point where it's extreme.
Yeah, and all these lip kits are great for Christmas and Hanukkah and all that thing. So
stocking stuffer
yeah,
ideas, don't you
real
think?
Smart idea. Kylie just killed it with this. She's the first billionaire of the family. So
And she
now
is,
at
that's
Ulta.
right,
Oh
she
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely a big deal for that. We've actually got a screen up where you can kind of see some of her different lipsticks. She has a crazy kit line. Have you ever seen it before?
I have. It's just, you know what it is? And this
You
is
can be
maybe
honest.
me. First of all, Kylie, I'm a Kim girl. She's my age.
Okay.
Kylie was too young for me.
Correct.
But also, it was so hyped. And so many people bought so many to then sell on like eBay.
Very true.
That like, I got a little over it.
And not even to say that,
I'm
we
just
do
being
know
honest.
that she did have lip fillers at one point
Right,
in time.
and I didn't mind that. She's eventually shown up to it, but to me, it's just so hyped, and it's just lip gloss.
Right.
And I know it could be great, but at some point, there's other lip gloss. It just got too hyped.
True, but you know, she sold it as first as it gives you that plump look.
For
but
sure,
really, at the
for
same time,
sure.
she had fillers. So that's why a lot of people were definitely on it at that time.
For sure.
So, I mean, it's cool to see her take out the fillers and still promoting it now on a more spectrum of like, yes, this is my lips, this is where
Right,
I am.
this is
so
what I'm
I
doing.
got to give her credit on that, and it's definitely coming for you guys November 17th.
Awesome.
Ulta Black Friday. We want to know your thoughts, though. Are you going to be purchasing on a deal, maybe putting in somebody's stocking stuffers?
Yeah, it's a great stocking stuffer for like young kids too, like tweens. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, John Venturini let us know this is the earliest that Thanksgiving can actually be. Like it can this is the earliest it can be.
Oh wow.
Like by the weather and the moon.
By the weather.
And the thing.
And the sun and the moon.
And the moon. And
right.
Thank you.
Definitely got it. We would love your feedback on this, you guys. Feel free to hit us up right now. And we love it. Thank you, Tori.
Of course.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. When Tori and I drove into work, you know how we do, we started talking about money-saving hacks. Here's today's DBL Drive presented by CarShield.
What are some of your best money-saving hacks?
First of all, I come from an old black man, obviously.
Yep.
And so one thing I grew up with was my dad swore you could reuse batteries by putting them in the freezer. Like, so if something stopped working, he'd be like, don't throw that away. Put that in the freezer, plan. And we would put it in the freezer, and 6 months later, it would not work.
Wait,
but yeah,
so the cold would just make it work again?
I don't know if it was supposed, I don't know the thought process behind that.
Okay.
But a lot of old black folks think that putting batteries in the freezer, and there might be something to that.
Well, here's my thing. My mother, old Jewish women, put flashlights with their battery in the fridge as well, and her nail polish. Not sure why. I think they are supposed to last longer.
Right.
But I just get freezing cold. I don't know. Maybe they have something to do with it. So we always had flashlights with batteries. And so old Jewish women and old black men are kind of similar.
Saving money doesn't have to be a struggle. Here are some easy ways to get started. Record your expenses. Choose something to save for. Get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
Wow, good look, Tori.
Good look. That slow-mo dancing really is graceful.
What do you guys? How do you guys just get in the car and just start going at it? Huh?
We just drive around. Yeah, it's great. I know at the end of it, it's going to be donuts.
Yeah, we always go to Dunkin' Donuts.
That's how I end every trip. Erica, you have any quick money-saving tips?
No, but I'm wondering why you've never brought us back a donut.
I brought back donuts every time.
We're from Chicago. We like Dunkin' Donuts.
You don't leave one for me.
Oh, my
and I like
goodness.
my chocolate Long
I am
Johns.
offended. We're going to talk about this in the break. If you guys are leaving us right now, you can still watch us live on Facebook and YouTube. Here's what's coming up next on DBL.
Just call him Dr. Love. Jamie Foxx's heartfelt dating advice for one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Then, holiday cheer with TV host Busy Phillips. She shows us how to make super easy Christmas ornaments. And Tori found the Fountain of Youth, the skincare secret that'll make you look 10 years younger when DBL comes back.
Hey guys, people want to know what we're doing for Thanksgiving. Albert?
I'm getting my Thanksgiving ticket right now, covering my card.
Whoa.
Yes, I'm getting my Thanksgiving ticket back home to Cleveland.
With the kidlets?
Yes, Jeff and I were just talking about just the amount. It's the last. My mom is moving from Cleveland to. She's getting married. She's moving to South Carolina with her man. Super excited. I love him. He's a great guy. And so she's moving from Cleveland. So this is the last Thanksgiving in Cleveland after 30 years. The house I grew up in. So it's like the end of an era. So everybody's flying out, and I'm paying for it.
Really?
Yeah. Daddy's gonna have to. Is there
You're sweating. Why are you
review?
Dude, I'm looking at tickets right now. We just talked about for Christmas. It's insane.
The price, you mean?
Yeah, it's insane. I don't know how
they're
it's
just saying that we're having Christmas again this year. Yes, the price.
You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be sassy.
But it is. I mean, it's crazy how I don't know how you could just jack up double your ticket prices just because it's a holiday and you're forced to use the airlines because you're not.
Supply and demand. More people need it.
I know, but it's like makes me sick.
Also,
Where's
flying out of Denver too? Doesn't that make things expensive?
Well, just flying into Denver, flying
so
out of
far
Denver
away.
and flying into Cleveland. Any cities that don't have like a close competing airport, like Miami was great because there's West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Miami, so they have to keep their prices kind of low.
There's competition.
Yes, but if you're flying into like when I started my college off in Mississippi, like flying into Jackson, Mississippi, you might as well go to Spain. It's super expensive because they're like, where are you gonna go?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
You want to? If you fly into Jackson, you come in for a reason. So it's $600-700.
Al, John wrote you, if you need asylum, there's fried turkey up in the Poconos. That's good to know in case you need that.
I like fried turkey.
What are you
That's
doing
he's
for
saying.
Thanksgiving?
You know, I was going to New York for a gig that might not be happening, so at this point, I don't really have any plans. So I think I'm asking for to be
sad and
invited.
hilarious.
Wow.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Because everyone's talking about this.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
You are totally off base here.
Log on and join our live conversation.
You can't control yourself? That is embarrassing.
DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome back to Daily Blast Live, or the only live show that covers what you're talking about right now. Let's get to it, guys. Actress Olivia Munn says Jamie Foxx gives great advice. On Busy tonight, she is talking about the voicemail the Oscar winner left her. It happened after her party she left because of a guy that was there. Watch Olivia reenact the advice that Jamie gave her.
Did you come out here to be somebody's girlfriend? No. Did you come out here to be somebody's wife? No. Did you come out here just to date this guy? No. Did you come out here to be an actress? Yes. Don't you ever, ever let me see you cry about some guy like that ever again. Sweetie, he was just so earnest. He was just like, I never want to see you let any man make you feel that small again.
Eric, I think the best advice I get on this show is from you. You think that's good
Jeff,
advice?
I'm sitting right here.
I am too.
Erica, I think the best advice I get on this show is from you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate you as well. No, I always say the rule of thumb for me on advice is take it from somebody who you actually want to emulate or be somewhat like, because everyone has their own advice, but it's about how it applies to your life. And for me, if people give me advice all the time, but I'm like, I don't want to live like you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just be honest about it. But I think when it comes to relationships, you want someone who's going to elevate you and you're going to elevate them. And I think that that's completely possible to do together.
So, Tori, give us some bad advice.
Okay. I knew you were going to turn to me and say that. But to be honest, like when I was working at the ice cream shop, and this was when I was 35, I'm very honest with the DBL Nation, right before I got this gig.
Oh, we have pictures.
Oh, yeah. I needed health insurance, and I was wearing a paper hat and a paper apron, and my husband would look at me and say, whose year is it? It's your year, and I'm going to scoop ice cream. And he believed believed in me, and because of that, I kept auditioning, and I got this.
Did he say, now
Who's the
give
big
me
winner?
some...
Mikey is.
Now give me some pistachio.
That was a swingers reference.
I do know. Mikey is.
I don't know, man. I think Erica does make a great point about your lifestyle, but you know, I do tell a lot of young comics, like, no girlfriends when you're coming up, man.
Really?
I do. It just, look, comedy is a nighttime thing. Comedy takes place when everybody else is hanging out. Friday nights, Saturday nights, Valentine's Day is a big night for comics. Thanksgiving, we're performing.
New Year's.
New Year's is a huge night. Those are all nights that she's going to be alone, and all her girlfriends will be like, your man working again? Why is your man in Milwaukee? What's Al doing in Phoenix? He should be with you. I'm telling you, until you're established in your position in certain professions, I think you should lay off dating.
But by that logic, that means no bartender could have a relationship
with another bartender.
No doctor.
With somebody else
nurse.
in the industry.
Okay.
I don't think if your hours don't match up, it's not going to work.
I've done it before. It worked for a while. 10 years, not bad.
That's a long run.
Yeah,
it's a good run.
Not bad. All right, make sure you stick around. Our very own Stephanie Jones is talking with Busy Phillips in today's Chatting with the Stars, so you're going to want to see that. So now let's change gears, or not really. I'm just trying to get my bearings here. Stop and take a look at this video. Kylie Jenner posted this on Instagram. It looks like someone special filled her home with hundreds of red roses. It has us asking, do you like grand romantic gestures like this? Head to dblvote.com and let us know what you think. Are you down? Are you down with these grand gestures?
Yeah, what's wrong with a grand gesture?
It's meaningless. That's what's wrong with it.
You think it's meaningless?
Yeah, do you think he put those flowers down, Erica, whoever did that? That was paid for by somebody that, yeah, I'm sure Travis Scott came off tour to lay down 100 bouquets.
But just
no, that was put up by somebody. It's a fake gesture. I'm sure he loves her, but that's
Let me just throw this out there because I've never been the biggest Kardashian fan. But let's just be honest. The reason why everybody's so excited about them is because they've figured out a way to become cajillionaires doing what every little girl or half the little girls in America want to become, which is just like beloved and beautiful and all of these things, and we know that they make $1 kajillion. So the fact of the matter is, every day there's probably 50 over-the-top things that have happened in their lives, and you just saw an example of one out of 24 hours, probably 20 minutes of a day. But ultimately, a grand gesture is about the thought, whether that's whether that's just thinking about something that's not as extravagant or something that's really big. A grand gesture is as grand as you are able to accommodate.
I think it's as grand as you can afford. You can do that. You can do that with 2 pushes on your phone. I think somebody, if you told me like Anthony saved the movie receipt from the first time we met, I think that would be a much more genuine gesture than that. I mean, that's great. If you can afford that, ladies, have at that. I understand that. But I mean, we've been told what's a symbol? A diamond. A diamond is just a rock. A rose is just a flower. It's no different than the other kind of flower. But you've been told this red rose means something.
I've not been
this
just
diamond
told.
means something.
I wear this and it makes me think of my connection to Brooks.
Yeah,
but why a diamond?
Let's take the Kardashians out of it. What do you do if Brooks buys you flowers?
I think it's really, really sweet, and I think he went out of his way, and he knows which one specifically I like and which smells I don't like, and it means he's thinking of me, and I like
Even
that.
on Valentine's Day when he's forced to get you flowers?
I don't think he's forced.
I think he is.
So ridiculous. Everybody wants to quantify it. I said the same exact thing that you said. It's as grand as you're able to do it. Everybody wants to be in everybody else's pockets. What? Because they're successful, they no longer
I'm happy for them.
You can't have grand, thoughtful gestures. What if you have someone who works 24/7?
Let's get right to it, Erica. I think roses are embarrassing.
Well, no, if you, first of all, even if someone
roses are red, violets are blue. We got to move on, so be quiet, you two. Yeah, Jeff. All right, romantic gestures, no. No, I didn't even see the number, but no, we got to move on. We're getting our first look right now at Russell Crowe playing Megyn Kelly's former boss, disgraced Fox News chairman and creator Roger Ailes. Production began this week in New York and a new Showtime for a new Showtime limited series. And look at this side-by-side of the Oscar winner with the late Fox News chairman Russell. He has really transformed himself, huh? That looks exactly like him. Roger Ailes exited Fox News following multiple allegations of sexual harassment in 2016, and he also died last year. But this is, I think this is going to be a big one for Russell Crowe.
Really big, and I just want to say the physicality, I've said this before, but the physicality of Roger Ailes was he used it to his advantage. So him being 300 pounds is important because when you're Megyn Kelly and you were pushed 3 times at a couch behind a desk and you have to push him back and he's this big coming at you, it's different than if someone smaller was doing it. So I'm glad that they're using the right representation.
Matt Lauer wasn't that big, and he still intimidated
That's
women.
because he was tricky and used buttons and terrible, horrible other things. But this was his mode of operandi.
I think we're looking at a bigger thing. It's the power dynamic set up when you walk into any kind of corporation. Anytime there's one person that has more power than all the other people beneath them, they're going to take advantage of it, male, female.
But if you've been behind a desk and someone's pushing you and they're this big, it's scarier than if she had to physically push him off, and that bigness is terrifying.
Bigness.
It's a word.
All right, get your wallets ready because Oprah's favorite things for this holiday season are here. Take a look.
It's not just about what you give, but it's about the spirit. Look at that. In which you give it. So I would give this to all my girlfriends. So let's get started for Favorite Things 2018.
So if a celebrity endorses something, does it make you want to buy it more? Head to dblvote.com and let us know what you think. Do you think this? I think every product has an endorsement, right?
Well, I guess. I don't know. I would say no, but we have an apparatus on our bed right now, and it's because Von Miller endorsed it. It's called the Chili Pad, and my husband was convinced that Von Miller had solved his issue of being a hot sleeper, and now we sleep with the Chili Pad. Thank you, Von Miller. Just let me know how to cover that hideous box that's sitting next to my bed.
It's true, though. Oprah started things like Ugg boots. She started Spanx. She started when the iPad, no one knew what to do. She was like, I love the iPad. So whatever effect she has, it works.
Oprah was responsible for the iPad.
Oprah literally went from...
What do you think we'd be doing if she hadn't said anything? Just trying to cook on it?
61%, yes, 100%. That's weird. 61%, yes, 100%. Anyways, coming up on Daily Blast Live, our very own Stephanie Jones gets crafty with TV host Busy Phillips. Making Christmas ornaments has never been this fun. Then talk about a boring commute, huh?
Good one.
That's a hint there. You won't believe what kind of animal ran right into this guy on his daily walk to work. Look at that crazy video. But first, we've stumbled upon the fountain of youth, or I think we have. Tori shows us a revolutionary treatment that could take 10 years off your face. Tori should try it.
It's Lex, and I'm here with the DBL digital team, giving you more top trending stories during the break.
I'm exhausted.
Come take a seat.
Talk to me, Lex. By the way, they called it the Tori and Lex show, and I thought we should call it Taxi because it's Tori and Lex, and we could go Taxi. That's our opening.
Oh, because
Lex and Tori.
Taxi. It would be taxi.
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 It would be taxi.
We're gonna workshop it a little bit more. What's going on? What's going on?
It would be
Toxie.
It would be toxie.
I'm
like
Toxie. You're
toxic.
slipping under.
So the first trending story that we have for you guys right now is that Owen Wilson, this is coming from Us Weekly, Owen Wilson has not yet seen his daughter.
.com.
Wow. That's my Owen Wilson. Go ahead. Sorry, what happened? What happened? What happened?
It's kind of sad.
So he hasn't
it's
seen his daughter?
Hasn't seen his daughter. She was born, I think, around October. The mother, who he's not with anymore, posted a photo of her on Instagram. Her sources say he's completely hands off. Hasn't had contact with the mom. She's a model for Varuni.
Varuni, sure.
Varuni.
Of the Varuni campaign.
For Rooney?
Yeah.
So I do think it's sad, but we also don't know the whole story. So his people say this is a private matter. We're not talking about it. Her people say, you know, he's been awful.
So yeah, and you don't know if there was a contract. My friend and her wife had a baby, and they had a contract of how much should the father be involved. It might have been a contractual thing. Otherwise, stay out of people's bedrooms. But Owen Wilson, if you are being awful, do better because she needs your dad. She needs her dad. Yeah, very bad.
Kind of sad. And he's been good with his two other kids, it sounds like.
Yeah.
He also has two other women.
No
judgment.
Hall pass. My Owen Wilson.
Anyway, we can go on to the next story. And maybe you can talk about this one. So Emma Thompson is pictured trying to steal a kiss. It's from E! Online, from Prince William.
Ooh, awkward. So just so you guys know, a lot of people do this. They try and get like a kiss or a touch, and it is strictly off rules to touch or reach in or do anything like that to a royal. Sometimes they bend the rules, but it is really bad.
That's a bold move,
Emma. Yeah.
Bold move.
Yeah, so she went in for it?
Yeah, she went in for it.
Did he go for it?
I don't think so.
Not good.
Well, obviously it's against the rules.
Yeah, you really aren't supposed to get that close to a royal, but awkward when you go for the kiss and it's not there, and then you're doing the...
I don't think I would do that with a stranger, never mind.
Well, yeah.
Or like if I'm on a date, I don't think I would do that on a... I don't know.
It's good to see you.
10 seconds.
She didn't go for it. She didn't go for it.
I was like...
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Beauty Blast, we're turning back the clocks on our skin, way back. Check out this miracle makeover Tori Shulman discovered.
I found the fountain of youth. Well, it might not be the fountain of youth, but I'm here at Angel Aesthetics with the skincare guru, Angel Renee, who really can make you look 10 years younger. Ow. Ow. Angel? Is it really possible to turn back the clock on our skin?
It actually is. So with my Mile High Makeover, oftentimes someone who's like 30, 40, I'm erasing a good 10 years of skin. Our gal that we're doing, she has lots of damage. So she's gonna have a lot of what I call lifting, and those brown spots are gonna get significantly darker, and they're gonna slough off.
Tell us, Caitlin, why you specifically wanted the Mile High Makeover.
My skin has always been just something that I've never been super happy with.
Yeah.
But I just kind of took it to my skin. That's just how it is.
Angel's coveted Mile High Makeover consists of the following steps. Step 1, numbing cream is applied. Step 2, Angel cleanses and preps the skin with acetone. Step 3, time for the good stuff. Angel performs a top secret combination treatment. All we can say is that it involves a laser.
You want to say the B word, don't you?
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna come in and hold her hand.
Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. This is what a true friend does right here. This is friendship right here.
Step 4, rest for 7 days. During this time, the skin will start to slough off as it turns over. Step 5, back to see Angel to finish off the makeover.
So far, I'm so impressed with her after result. I mean, she's a little pink because she has all that new skin. She had lots and lots of lifting, and all that has come off, so whatever is remaining, I'm gonna dermaplane. Dermaplane removes the dead skin and vellus hair. It takes off all the peach fuzz, all the dead skin, and doesn't leave you pink and blotchy. So in a week, that's not gonna be so pink.
Take a look.
So the biggest myth for dermaplane is if I shave my face, will my hair grow back thicker? And that's a good old wives' tale, because bald men would have a full head of hair.
All right, guys, we're about to see the reveal. Come on out! Ah, you look amazing! Oh my God! How do you feel about yourself? Because that's really the most important, obviously.
It's just great. Like I can't even like hold a smile. You know, you just look in the face and you just smile. Like I don't even know. It's just, it really has changed a lot of things. So.
Wow.
That really is amazing.
It's huge, and Caitlin felt better about herself. That's all that it's about. She knew that she was a bodyguard. She used to put baby oil on, just so much sun damage, so she felt better. But if you can't afford it, or you're not in Denver with Angel, she just suggests that you get a dermaplane wherever you guys are. So just Google dermaplane and then your zip code, and it'll come up where you can get it. Yeah, it's D-E-R-M-A, like derma, and plane, P-L-A-N-E, and it's the stuff that gets rid of the hair and sort of the exfoliation. Erica taught us first about it, and we all get it now.
I've been going to Angel for like 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And I understand when she walked out that door, because I've walked out that door before feeling like a different person. I've had acne since the 3rd grade.
Wow.
So the fact that I can be sitting here and my skin is much better because of Angel.
Much better? You're glowing every day.
Why do you want to be like, my skin's flawless?
It is. Thank you, Angel.
But thank you, Angel. My skin is flawless.
And And I'll see you Thursday.
Yeah, you need it. Look how much
and I'm going to buy Tori a gift certificate.
Okay.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow because Angel will be sharing her tips on how to look younger and save money at the same time. She'll be sharing the best buys from your local drugstore. You don't want to miss that. That's a good tip.
It's really good.
All right, guys, we are live. Raquel Villanueva has news at the moment.
That's right, Jeff. Trending right now, a Breaking Bad movie is in the works 5 years after the hit TV series ended, but the details surrounding the film are still a bit of a mystery. It's rumored to be called Greenbrier and will start production in a couple weeks. Series creator Vince Gilligan is working on the new project, which is set to be a 2-hour movie. No word yet if it's going to hit theaters or your television screen, but I'll let you know.
Thanks, Raquel. Exciting stuff. We'll be right back.
Bert has never seen Breaking Bad, and we were just saying how he likes The Wire. Season 1 is not, I think, the best. Season 2 really starts.
Well, season 1 they got to set everybody
up. You got to set it up.
And
that's right.
Weird. It's weird. That's when they lose all the viewers. But it's like the reason you care about them is because they set them up for so long. You know them as characters.
Cinematically, it's well done. I mean, it's just a beautifully acted, beautifully written. I'm a huge fan. What's some of your favorite, like, all time?
Huge. Favorite all-time shows? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm like Frasier, The Wire.
Oh, Curb, I watch.
Frasier's hilarious.
Frasier's so tight.
Curb Your Enthusiasm is hilarious.
Seinfeld I still watch.
Yeah, Seinfeld's awesome.
The Wire was amazing.
What do you watch? Do you watch any old shows?
I'm going to go and rewatch Friday Night Lights.
I've never seen it.
Oh, no, but I want to rewatch Being Mary Jane. Yeah. Because I think that I'll have a different perspective on it now.
When did that come out?
Being Mary Jane, I'm trying to think.
2009?
They are.
No.
Sopranos.
I think
it's a good one.
2014. I'm trying to think what city I was living in. That's how I figured it out. Or what apartment I was in. I think it was 2014. Okay. But I haven't watched that show. They haven't been on since we've been on. Right. Because they took a 1-year hiatus. So I want to watch it from this chair.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
I like that.
Thanks.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. In today's Chatting with the Stars, we're catching up with social media powerhouse Busy Phillips. With more than 1 million followers on Instagram, she's an actress, New York Times best-selling author, and now talk show host.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in. And
say it again. This is my Oprah moment. Say that again.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in.
The more you say yes, the more things start coming in, you guys. That was our Oprah moment today. Yes, Vanessa Hudgens, yes.
And as if she doesn't have enough on her plate already, Busy is also the ultimate crafting queen. So with the holiday season right around the corner, I asked her to teach me to give me a lesson on how to make some ornaments. Take a look at this. I'm joined by Busy Phillips. Hello.
Hi, so nice to see you.
So nice to
Stephanie.
see you.
I partner with Michaels because I'm obsessed with crafting. I have 2 little girls and we do lots of making in our household and especially around the holidays.
Okay, so today we're focusing on Christmas decorations, right?
Yeah.
I'm like just hoping for a glitter ball kind of thing going on over here, but
it looks really good.
I'm just mixing and matching everything right now.
I think it looks great. It looks like a little snowfall.
So what is the favorite ornament on your tree? So when it gets to Christmas, what's the #1 thing you're going to be putting on your tree?
Oh, wow. Well, I love all the ones that my girls have made over the years, and then my mom saved all the ornaments that my sister and I made over the years, so I have mine.
I love how you've bossed one out already.
Yeah, I'm fast, girl.
You're on it.
I'm on it.
She's on it.
There's my little puffball ornament.
It's amazing.
It's cute.
And what other
my girls would love that.
What are your like family traditions? So what do you do with Birdie and Cricket? Like what's your at-home Christmas family time thing?
Well, there's lots of baking around the holidays.
Ooh,
of
okay.
course. I like to make like lemon bars. I've always loved making lemon bars since I was a kid.
Lemon bars?
Yeah.
That sounds tricky.
It's not that tricky, but I don't know if that's a traditional Christmas cookie, but it is in my house.
This is going everywhere,
No, but that's the point. point. Like, it's fun. It can be messy. You can get it all over the place. Like, don't worry about it.
I'm gonna put a little bit of pom-pom. I'm just literally going all out with mine. This is like the ultimate ball of like anything goes.
I really like it. Crafting and making things is something that we do as a family.
I'm gonna make one for the show, a daily blast.
Oh, that's a great idea.
They're gonna love this. They better put it up in the studio.
Okay, I have to say, I think this is super cute.
That's really good. Right, I'm not gonna lie, I completely stole Busy's inspiration. There was no original creativity.
That's okay.
Okay, this was my original creativity right here, and then I just copied the good stuff.
But these look
by the pro.
cute. We've got little matching ones.
Steph, that was pretty good. Is that your British sister?
She is my new best Christmas friend. I'm not even joking. What a babe, right? I love her. She was so creative, and mine just looked like really bad.
No, I liked it.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Did you keep it?
I'm hanging that up.
Yeah, I kept it. It's on my desk, and I'm expecting you guys to hang it up when it becomes the 1st of December, unlike you, Jeff, with your Christmas tree up already.
Wait a minute, Missy.
Yeah!
What is with this attitude?
Yeah.
We're going to have to get in the Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
November. What's wrong with you
I'm
guys?
taking that ornament right off your desk. Coming up on Daily Blast Live, find out what creature came running after a man on his commute. Ouch. We'll be right back.
This girl just wrote in, what was the name of the spa's name? Her name is Angel, and the spa's name is Angel Aesthetics. It's in Cherry Creek if you're in Denver, but people fly in from California, from New York to see Angel. If you want to follow her on Instagram, which is awesome because she does before and afters, and they're so good to watch, it's Miss Angel Renee, I believe. Am I right?
While you're looking, I'll read some comments too.
Miss Angel Renee. So you can follow her and DM her or text her for an appointment.
A lot of people writing in for you, Tori.
What are they saying?
How do I send you a gift certificate for Angel? You should have got your face done too while you were at Angel's. Tori, what's wrong with your face? A lot of comments about your face.
Oh, that's weird. This is dead. Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
It doesn't mean it's not true.
Are you?
I go to Angel.
I'm going.
Disgusting.
What?
I don't. How do you get tanner in your nerd
You
spot?
just dump it in your mouth. You don't touch it to your lips. You
First
don't
of
know
all,
where it's been.
I had to. First of all, when you open it, it's very hard.
Why do you have tanner on your fingers?
I don't have foundation on my fingers when I
Why
open
do you
it.
have foundation on your
Because
fingers?
I touch my face a lot and I have makeup on.
You know what you should do? Right now she's all right, but come sneak up through a show here. It's like Pigpen down here. There's pens, there's nerd boxes.
They say people that are sloppy are often smarter.
Really? Well,
They
you're a
did say-
genius.
IQ, super high. Nerds. Who else opens their nerds? But you know what nerds I like? The ones with the two-side different.
Oh, yeah.
You know
That's
what you
the
can pick?
original
I feel like
one.
you never see those anymore.
That's the originator.
The originator, where you take the one.
Yeah,
and
that's
you're
like because you got to pay more from. Those are the Halloween size.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Nerds has no artificial flavors. What is it then? Isn't it just?
It's just
That's
sugar.
impossible. It's
I
just
know.
sugar.
It's gotta be.
Probably just color, food
It's
color and
sugar.
sugar. Yeah.
There's something tarty about it I like. What was the name of the spa they spoke about? Anyone remember? Beach Girl. Angel Aesthetics is the name of the spa. And to follow her, I don't know why I'm speaking slower.
You really are
Miss
talking-
Angel
teaching-
Renee.
teaching
Miss
English as
Angel
second
Renee
language.
on Instagram.
And-
Miss Angel Renee.
And we have some
MISS.
viewer comments.
Read them. Read them and weep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what did they say, Jeff?
Tori, why did you let that other girl go first? You needed it immediately. Wow, that was weird.
Can I be honest? I thought it was for me, and I was so excited. And then this Caitlin showed up. And I'm like, well, who's she? And they're
Who
like,
is she?
She is a client, and her sister got it done. And
client?
A client who's hot. In Spanish, it's caliente, so you mix it. Cliente. It's a hot client.
She's a hot client. All right, makes sense.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back to Daily Blast Live. A man in Japan's morning commute was anything but boring. Huh? After a wild boar attacked him in the streets, watch as the animal darts out of the alley while the man walks by swinging his briefcase, just strolling along. The boar rams the man in the knees and knocks him off his feet. Luckily, the two people driving honked their horn and scared the boar away off into his natural habitat.
Of what, that apartment complex?
Have to go to the hospital, but he's expected to be okay. Those things are vicious.
They are
I think some animals are super mean. That was one of it's like some animals, like once they have you down, they like are going after you.
Well, I heard like when you hunt boar, I just heard this, like once you shoot them, you got to make sure that you get them because they come out. They start
and you
coming
do it at
after
night apparently because it's safer because they also run around more, but it's dangerous. What are you laughing at?
I don't know.
I don't know a lot about boars.
Or boar hunting for that matter.
Well, you're pretty boring.
Oh no!
What? That was a good one. All right. Do we have any comments?
Ziggy from Twitter says, "How can you call yourself a leader when you talk and treat people like that? I'm glad real Donald Trump has some type of check and balance now."
I thought he was talking about me.
Michaela Winder says, "When the POTUS tells you that that is enough the first time, he shouldn't have to repeat it 25 more times. Nothing is accomplished by acting like a kid with misbehaving in front of an over-tolerant parent. Just behave."
Just behave.
Yeah. That was the gist.
That's the gist of it. All right, guys. Check us out tomorrow, same time, same place. That's Hump Day, everybody.